Of it. Howdy, partners in wine. I'm Get Your Gumi.
I'm Christy May.
I'm Devin Bacon.
And that makes this
Wine with a Wifey.
Yay!
All
She's
right.
the wifey.
we're actually doing wine.
And there's the wine.
Yeah. So.
Ching.
Dog sleeping on the wires.
Hey, at least he's not licking anybody.
That's true. At least he's not chewing on anything. So, all right. Let us know if you're in chat how everything sounds, how everything's going, so that we can get right into the technical difficulty portion of the show.
Yeah.
Okay. We want to just dive right into this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Particiana?
So it's been a little bit since we streamed because
It has been a couple weeks. Yeah.
like life has been kind of crazy, I would have to say.
Yeah. We did, well, I think we did the Phasmophobia one.
Yeah, but I thought I was going to fall asleep during that,
Yeah,
and
that
I was
wasn't
playing
really
the game.
That wasn't really a typical one. And then last week, you were out of town, and I was just exhausted, so I didn't stream at all last week.
Well, the week before the Phasmophobia, I think I was sick. I was not feeling good at all.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
And then we did Phasmophobia, and that was just like a dunce. Like, shouldn't have done it. And then I was gone last week, and now we're doing this. But I feel like it's been longer even. I don't know.
It does feel like it. But the recordings don't lie. Go to... What the heck?
Yeah, speaking of Phasmophobia, I was like watching one of these other streamers. They're doing another one. It's called the Mortuary Assistant.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And I'm not a horror type scary, like, yeah, sometimes it gets me, don't get me wrong, but I don't find entertainment in that. Like, some people like to get, like, scared or whatever.
Nice. By the way, thank you for the follow, Bappa Tooth Dog. Good to see you out there.
So they put the heart monitor on, right? And they're like, oh, well, we're going to do gifted subs if it reaches over, like, 120. And so you can go in and you can make predictions. Basically, you can bet like all your little bits, your channel points, on like how many times that person's gonna get their heart rate's gonna get over 120. And so like, I don't know, 60% of the entire like however many thousand people in there put like 5 to 10. That person did not get scared, not one single time. Like their heart rate didn't go over 120. And the whole time I was like, the clues or the markings that they're supposed to follow to me are like clear as day, and they're like not seeing it.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Or they spend so much time like on one little detail trying to figure out, hey, does this work? Can I pick this up? Can I do like, what does this do? Does it have, they spend all that time trying to like figure out these little small things, and not to like disparage them, because like, hey, you play a game, you don't know how they made it, so you just kind of, but you're just like, oh my god, like, can we get past this part and get into like, where's the scare part gonna and you're just like, and then it happens, and it wasn't really, it was like very anticlimactic. You're like, okay, that wasn't fun. And then you're waiting for the next one, and maybe we'll get them again, and then 9 hours today. 9 hours.
Wow.
On stream, and I was just chilling. I was between Discord, my computer, eating lunch, dinner, like all that stuff or whatever, and just had it up on the TV. And I was like, I've wasted 9 hours of my life. Good thing I had to clean the apartment like Thursday, because I didn't.
That's the interesting thing about streaming as an entertainment medium, is it's like you could literally just watch one dude all day. I guess it's kind of like binging a TV show. You like just watching the one guy.
Well, it's like when I occasionally stream on my channel, like I'll cook or something. I get so many people just hanging out with me, asking, "What am I making?" Like, what item is that? Like, what's going on? What did I cook the other day? And I'm just like, dude, I'm just sitting in this little, military housing kitchen, cramped as fuck, cooking like some cheap ass meal, with Pillsbury dough
like
but
or
it's
something.
cool because it's, it's like you can have acquaintances or whatever, just somebody to kind of like talk to or bounce ideas off. I think actually probably in any setting, it's beneficial to the streamer, because you can get to choose who you interact with, right? So you always have somebody talking to them. But once you get like them 1,000 and the chat's just going crazy.
Oh yeah.
Now it kind of sucks for the viewer. Because if you want to get...
if they're trying to interact with you as opposed to other chatters.
Yes, if you want to get interacted with or whatever, well, you need to be tier 3 sub, or you need to highlight your message or make noise or something, you know, make a crazy post on the Reddit.
Can you grab the mouse over there? I left it over there.
Yeah. I mean, that's the nature of it, but you want the pad too?
No, just the mouse.
Yeah, that's the nature of it. I was going to ask you, how do you like your Wave XLR? Because that's what I got.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Once you get the software going for you, it's like...
It just seemed like really basic, and I was just like, well, I want to be able to do some other features.
The software is where it really shines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, a good thing I didn't spend the big bucks on like the Go XLR. It's going to take up 3/4 of my desk space. And
yeah. Yeah, the Go XLR is, especially with the beacon now, is kind of it's old technology now. You know?
Yeah, because the guys who made the Go XLR that worked for the TC Helicon, they moved over.
Moved over to beacon. All right, so what we got here? Porticina Malvasia. Porticina, yeah, that's what I said.
Not even close.
Malvasia, or Malvasia.
Yeah.
2020 medium-bodied, off-dry white wine. It is dry. I like it.
It doesn't feel like a medium body.
A rich and vibrant white wine that delivers floral, nutty aromas and mouthfuls of fruity flavors. This succulent wine is great to sip by the glass and also pairs with a wide variety of cuisines from Thai food to Mexican fare. It's a great option for people who enjoy aromatic Viogniers, lush Chardonnays, and full-bodied Moscatos.
Wagner's.
Wagner's. Okay.
Yeah.
I did my best.
That's funny.
I can see a little bit of the medium, but it's more of a light.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Light body.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it sticks to the side of the glass pretty good. It just... Oh, no, never mind.
It's like...
It doesn't have any legs, though.
Yeah, there's no legs, yeah.
Look at us wine snobs and can't even pronounce fucking words.
We're all like looking for legs. Dude, you can't even
the
say
tendons, you have to let it breathe. Vignette, like...
DiGiorno.
Oh, so I imagine like trailer park winos probably sound like.
Well, yeah, probably. Probably.
And I can see that. Because I'm freaking...
Why? Because you're a trailer park wino?
I'm fucking white trash.
I am too.
I wasn't exactly in a trailer park, but I wasn't far from it. It was down the block.
No, I literally lived in one for part of my life.
Well,
so
you owned
like
one for part of your life.
No, I owned a whole trailer park. Yeah. For part of my life, yeah.
I thought about moving into a trailer park. So like when I do like not like a double wide pre-manufactured home type kind of trailer park, but like an RV park kind of trailer park.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think once I get the truck paid off, which I don't have that much left on it, it'll be paid off like in the next year or two. I want to either get like a pop-up camper or something like that, and then just all the different duty stations and stuff, figure out like where the RV parks and stuff are located.
They all have one.
Yeah. Because you remember Top at freaking Lewis, he was out there in American Lake. Like, I know they had a house, but like once he sent his family, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go to fucking Korea for a year, you know. Y'all go on to this destination and I'll just finish up here, then go to Korea or whatever. And he just stayed in his RV out there by the freaking lake for the last, I don't know, 6 months we were there.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, that's fucking dope. Like, you don't, I mean, as a single person, you don't need that much room. And if you're just going to save money, that money that the Army is paying you for housing, well, part of that can go for the little rental fee, and the rest of it can go towards paying off that freaking camper.
Yeah.
And then whenever you, like, you know, I get around, like, say I want to upgrade, or I don't want the camper anymore, if I keep it in good condition, turn around and sell it, Now I got a small little freaking nest egg that I only had to contribute maybe half to or something.
Right,
you know?
because it was housing paid.
Yeah, that's the insane thing about living in an apartment while the Army's paying me freaking housing is it's all like I'm robbing myself. $1,000 every month I'm robbing myself because I'm never gonna see that money again.
Yeah.
But it's the trade-off of like, you know, if you buy a house, you got to deal with either selling it, but then there's limitations and stuff on that because you have to, like, if you do like a VA loan, you have to keep it for X amount of time or before you can sell it, and then if it doesn't sell before you freaking piece, like all that stuff, trying to get all that just seems like a fucking headache to have to deal with. Like, I don't see people
Well, even like if you try to rent it out, we dealt with that. And honestly, if we had to do it over again, we would have treated it more like a business because we really just were like, we just want to make enough rent to pay the mortgage.
Yeah, well, initially,
Yeah.
we were, you know, doing rescue work, and so there was another foster people that were like in desperate need of a home. So we were just gonna rent it to them since like we didn't mind if there was dogs there. It wasn't like anything could really like damage the house. It was all like, you know, plywood floor or, you know, whatever, the
LPV
flooring and stuff like that. And it had like a really nice yard, and you know, I know how hard it is to find like a place to rent that takes dogs and cats or whatever, you know. It's not a big deal to me. And so I was like, yeah, we'll rent to them. Well, then they like hemmed and hawed until the very last minute, then decided, oh no, you know, could you give us like 3 months before we could start paying rent? And it's like, no, dude, we got a mortgage that's due next week.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to do favors like that. We're doing you a favor by like not doing a background check or anything like that. Like, whatever. But we did want to go through like the base and have it so that they automatically took our rent for these people because the base can do that.
Yeah.
And then they started like, that's when
do the allotments and all that.
yeah, and that's when all of a sudden these people started being like, I don't know. So then they backed out last minute. It was like 2 days before we were gonna move, and then we found like a rental. No, we talked to.
Hey, Chanegas, how are
We
you,
talked
man?
to the realtor that sold us the house.
Good
He
to
got
see
us
ya.
in touch with his buddy that supposedly was a property manager. I did my like background work on him being a banker. I know how to look all these people up in their system and stuff.
Yeah.
He was not even licensed. This dude was not licensed. Like, he was a scam artist.
Yeah.
He wanted.
Yeah, and then he tried to tell us that, oh, you don't need to be licensed in Washington.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Smiley wine.
So we were there like the night before we left, like hours before we drove out of town, like rekeying our house and like setting it up so that way
We're good. We're good.
property management could take it on.
Doing better now.
Got some wine.
It's been a pretty stressful couple weeks, but we made it through, and now we're here enjoying some wine with friends and family.
I'd say it's beyond stressful.
Yeah.
It's like
I would agree.
mental breakdown level.
It's true.
For me, at least.
Now I finally got my upslip.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was shit.
For those of you that don't know, an upslip is a legal medical document that allows you to fly.
In the military.
Yeah, well,
period.
in general,
actually.
yeah.
Yep, got my upslip back. And now I'm just waiting for our new FI to finally get signed off. But the KFIR's computer, like all the flight.
Yeah.
Literally,
Records
Trinega, it was like, I was still in tears today. I'm just like,
Yeah, it
just
was
needing tonight, I think.
it was rough because I don't know how deep we want to get into this, but Chrissy May's mom lives out of state, and every now and again she goes and travels to take care of various financial and medical issues because she's kind of has a hard time managing it on her own, and so that's what she was doing. She was out of town for what, like 5 days?
Yeah.
And it was just a whole big stress fest for her in where she was, and then it was a big stress fest for me here because for whatever reason, normally when she goes out of the town, the dogs don't really change their behavior, but for whatever reason, they were just wired for sound 24/7 the entire time she was gone. And then I was dealing with like work stress,
Yeah, you got
Yeah, you got it.
it. Thanks, bud.
But yeah, I was dealing with work stress, and then the kiddo, and yeah, like I had to leave her at the house alone for 24 hours, and it just like, because Chrissy May was out of town, and I had to go live at the hangar. Just a whole big shabaggle.
And then you had a secret meeting or whatever.
Yeah.
So you were gone all day that day with no like way for her to contact you.
I couldn't bring my phone into the briefing. So yeah, it's just been and briefings like that are never positive. So
Jesus.
it's just a whole big bunch of doom and gloom, and then on top of it, I'm stressed out about not being able to contact my kid. Yeah, it's just, woof. It was rough, but now we're here.
Now we're here. Yep. It was hard because like every time I go home to Minnesota, like I always like call and text my one son. They're like, hey, I'm going to be in town. If you have time, we could meet up, whatever works for you. He never ever typically answers me. Like it'll be like a week later and he'll be like, oh, sorry, I'm just now getting this. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, I know you're 24, you got your phone connected to your hand. Like, it's not like you just are now getting this a week later.
Yeah.
And I understand that a good portion of that is like how his dad did me and, just talked me dirty and everything like that. I mean, the court called my ex on parental alienation, like, but at that point, like, my son
point, he was already 18.
Yeah, my son had like 6 months till he was 18. So what am I going to do? Like, it would have taken longer to go through the court and he would have been an adult,
Yeah.
So it's like, I couldn't do anything about it and, whatever. But then like he, like decided to listen to like one side of the story, which whatever. Now he's 24. It's like, dude, you're kind of old enough that you have to start thinking about like the whole picture. Like,
think for yourself, not just
yeah.
what people.
Well,
told you.
and start to realize that you've already missed out on all this time with your mom.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I don't know anything about him, but I can tell you right now, whenever I was 24, I wasn't thinking about maintaining relationships or getting reconnected. Now, granted, I wasn't, didn't have divorced parents and that issues and all that stuff going on. But I can tell you, as a 24-year-old man, like, if you, young man, like, doing things or whatever, getting out in the world, all that stuff, you aren't thinking about all the things that an adult, like what an adult feels is important, right? So I wasn't thinking about trying to maintain a relationship with my dad or my mom or my siblings, none of that stuff. I want to have fun. I want to chase girls. I want to be drunk. I want to buy a bunch of shit, like all kinds of stuff. It's set the world on fire time when you're in your early to mid 20s. And then as I got older, I'm all like, that shit doesn't.
It's not sustainable.
It's not as important either. It's just all like, well, what's good?
Well, because your brain is not fully developed. You don't have.
Yeah, exactly.
You still don't have the full frontal cortex activated until you're 25. On average.
Yeah. Plus, the other thing is with him being 24 and you're the age that you are. Since you don't already have like a standing relationship for whatever reason, it's gonna be hard to find that because you don't have anything to relate to each other anymore.
Right.
He's a completely different generation, grew up away from you, and so.
Yeah, it's hard because it's like, the last real time I saw him was before we moved away for, me joining Matt or Gitch, and like. It's different than when I'm like keeping track with like, text messaging and emailing or voicemails or messaging on social media or whatever. Like, that only shows so much, and then his dad would not allow him to have any kind of contact with me. Like, he would just sabotage everything. So it was like, anytime I had him on my social media, next thing I know, he's blocked. And then, then a new social media pops up and then I add him there and I get blocked on that one too. And then, find out like later when he got older that it wasn't him controlling his social media. He didn't get control of his social media till he was 17. his dad like oversaw everything. And I'm pretty positive that he's still like very much watching or whatever, because he made a comment. He was like, yeah, I'm sure my dad's gonna freak out when he saw, that we're texting each other. It's like, how's he gonna see that we're texting each other? Oh, because you're on daddy's phone plan and he can see who you're messaging. Like, so crazy to me, and
Squirtle, how are you, man?
and whatever. But, this time that we talked and everything, like, I was all freaked out. I was like, maybe he's just setting up a meeting so he can just like ghost me and hurt me or something. Or like, that was like, what do I dress for it? Like, what am I gonna say when he walks up? Like, I was super in my head. And then we had a good like long ass talk.
Well, and like where he picked to meet, the only parking was like 15-minute parking around the building.
Yeah, there was only 15-minute parking. So
Well,
I was
of
like,
course. I
I
always
just took
miss
it
you,
as
Squirrel.
like, he just wasn't going to be around. I thought it was going to be a high and by type thing. And then he was like, oh, they never check the vehicles here. I was like, please don't tow Andy's car away. Like, don't tow the BMW away, But, it turned out good. He asked a lot of questions about like different things and, our past and stuff. Because he was with me for, 12 years of his life.
Yeah.
And then, his dad stepped in and while I went to, basic training and everything. And so,
So you think his dad just got insecure because you joined the military and he figured you're just going to like find some other dude and then take his kid away, and so that's why he just like essentially locked down everything? Or
Well, his dad's Adam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So his dad is like he would lock her in the house when they were married.
yeah.
Like, and
Very
they
controlling.
had the deadbolts with the keys on the inside of the door. So he would lock the door and take the key and leave. And he was in the Air Force.
So he got turned in by our neighbors. So his first shirt, like, called him in the office, was like, you can't lock your wife up like that. That's not right.
It's like that's
hello.
unlawful detainment is what that is. Like,
So I dealt with a bunch of crap, and then like I was never the parent to like talk bad about my ex, or their dad to them, because it's like, I don't appreciate how like when I was a kid, my parents kind of used us as like pawns to hurt each other, So I never wanted to do that with like my kids to their parent, their dad, whatever. But then found out like I went to go pick Clay up from Thanksgiving one time. I mean, I would drive home to Minnesota once a month just so he could see his kid. He never drove out to us, and he's the one that moved away. And so, like, I drove home so he could see his son every weekend or every month. And then he'd, like, go play softball, or he'd be in his bowling or dart league or whatever. Like, his parents had him, so he didn't really care. And then Clay asked one time, he was like, well, how come we have, like, 2 Christmases or, like, 2, holidays all the time? Why can't we all be together? And his dad straight out told him, well, because your mom chose to split up the family. I was like, dude, you had 3 girlfriends and one of them was a fiance, and like you were doing all sorts of shitty stuff to me. So like, yeah, I left because that's the right thing to do for myself. But
wise words from Trinaga's up on the screen.
yeah.
So, I mean, it was hard. It was like a good conversation. I think it really opened his eyes to some things. But it was hard for me because I had to walk through a lot of trauma during the conversation.
Yeah, remember it all.
And remember it
relive
all. And then, like, it's stuff that I never think about. Like, I just, obviously I don't want to sit around and dwell on my trauma past, Like, that's
Right.
not something you do all day. It's bad enough when you have flashbacks, you can't stop that, Like, but I take medicine that's supposed to, like, block that part of my brain out, Like,
Wow.
it's crazy. So then I was there in Minnesota the rest of the week, driving around in this bullshit, being, like, reminded about, I was here with Clay at this time, or we lived over here at this time, or whatever. And,
Hey, Cammy.
hey, he's drinking with his buddies right now. So it was crazy. And then just dealing with my mom's shit, like, was over the top. Just so much. Oh, you're at home now.
Drinking at home.
And then where I was staying, like, typically is like relaxing or whatever, but it's not your home, you know? Like, and then I felt like for some reason, I just felt out of place this time. And I was probably because I was in all this like trauma mindset, and like any kind of like abrasive like talking or whatever just really freaked me out. Like, we'd be watching a show and maybe I'd make a comment about something. He'd go over the top like, "This fucking bullshit, blah, 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 blah. Oh, those people can suck my dick," you know? And I'm just like, okay, like, I'm really like triggered now. Like, I'm super triggered. I cannot handle these abrupt explosions of like harshness, you know? So I don't know. And then I got home and I was still dealing with it. I found out, well, Adult Protective Services called me while I was going to the airport or whatever. And they said that the PCA that my mom has been like on their watch for a while, and that they'll finally have enough now to like put charges against her because of how she's been involved with my mom's stuff. And
your sister?
No, like the
public care nurse.
Yeah, the public care nurse.
Oh.
Yeah, so like she's been like taking advantage of my mom and like, you know, what do you call it? Like, I don't know, like, she's possibly been stealing from her. We have to go through the bank records in more detail and see. But then also she's had, like, random strangers in my mom's house, and then my mom can't find things in her house, and, like, all sorts of weird stuff.
Collectible Barbie dolls and, like
stuff that's worth valuable stuff. And then, like, she drinks beer around her clients and, like, you know, whatever. She's been, like, not doing the care that she's supposed to. Like, she says that my mom gets 12 hours a week. She's possibly there 1.5 hours every 2 weeks. I just learned, I've been paying attention and figuring out like she's not there all the time. But the timesheets say that she's spending 12 hours on my mom every week. So she's just totally lying all around the board.
And getting paid.
And getting paid for it. Yeah, that's
dementia?
Like, yeah. That's what my mom has.
The early stages of what her mom has.
And so like, I told them or whatever, and then the cops came and talked to my mom the other day, and then I was just like, okay, I feel like I'm not just like, this isn't in my head, you know, this is actually something that I was good to like be worried about, you know? And then my friend was like, well, you know, I don't think it's really, I don't think you need to go ruin her job. I don't think you need to like go that far. That's kind of extreme to me. I mean, I'm sure she's got like good intentions. She's probably just crossed some boundaries. And I was just like, dude, seriously, no. Like,
if anytime somebody throws up the excuse of, oh, don't ruin their job, I'm like, if they were good at their job, I couldn't take it from them.
You didn't ruin it; they did.
They fucked it up.
Yeah.
That whole gaslighting bullshit.
Well, and that's the thing. The thing
that try to make you feel bad about, going to the defensive.
The thing that irritates me about him going down that narrative is that he's a business owner. So it's like. It's like if you had an employee that was taking advantage of your customers, would you want to keep them on your payroll? Would you want to keep paying them with your business's money? I don't think so. So why would you want some other business to keep paying them?
Yeah.
Yeah, but and then he just talked over me like the entire time. Like, I got so frustrated at some point that I knew if I was going to open my mouth again, I was just going to burst out crying. Like, I just was like, I'm getting off the Discord. Like, talk to you later.
Funny topics. We can try. We can try to lighten the mood. Yeah.
So can I tell them the story about what happened in the festival? Because German guy, Chris, we've been talking on the WhatsApp, and he's been like showing me pictures of this like festival and everything. Okay, so let me get in here and I'll pull it up because it's pretty funny. So first of all, I have to talk.
Yeah.
You're weird. Good. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. So here he is. He's drinking beer. He's drinking my favorite German beer, actually. He's got a cowboy hat on and everything. It's like
good, looking sharp.
Freaking hot there. And his neighbors are just looking at him, and he's playing good old country music. Now, I can't play this online because it's like copyrighted, but I listened to this country song and it is hilarious. Like, I don't know where this country person is from. Like, I mean, it is the most vulgar country song I've ever heard. Like, it is like beyond what Paul talks like. It is crazy. So,
more like Stephen Allen Cole or some shit.
No, I'm gonna send it to you guys. Let me see if I can figure out how to do it.
Okay.
Copy, and then I'll send it to y'all. So anyway, I'm getting these Devin
Wheeler Walker. Okay.
Yeah, Wheeler Walker.
I think I've heard of them before.
Okay, I'm gonna send this to you guys so you can listen to it, like, not when it's loud.
Yeah. On the stream.
So anyway, then he's talking about like how hot it is there, whatever. He shows me a picture, like the festival is still going on. Like there's just like people crowded everywhere. And whatever. And the next day, he's like, holy shit, I'm home yesterday from the festival. He asked if my flight was good. He said the festival got a bit weird. So I asked him to tell, because, you know, I'm all about weird stories. He's like, well, the festival guys built up 2 pools directly on the side of the festival field because, you know, it's super hot and everything. So a bunch of naked guys and girls are sitting in the pool, clothes all around the pool, and we're drinking. He goes, yep, me too. And after that, at midnight, he met a girl from England and her boyfriend, and then he missed all the other bands. Like,
Jesus.
And he goes, if I remember right, her boyfriend Pierre gets out of the trailer and shouts, we need another girl, or something like that. And then to our surprise, then we were 4. My weird hookup sentence was, so we talked, and then I was asked, why do I wear a cowboy hat and so on. Finally, they got it and said, okay, so you're not a rockabilly or a psychobilly, you're a hillbilly. And my answer was, yep, seems so. I wish you 2 were my siblings.
Oh, wow. That's hilarious.
So then, okay, and then this is really super funny.
They're like, role play.
Right?
Big bro, I'm stuck.
What are you doing, bro?
Stuck?
What are you doing, step bro?
And then speaking about like incest and stuff, so he Googles a bit about Minnesota on YouTube. He pulls up this video, he sends me this video where Rosemont High School, apparently it's a real thing that happened. They
And it worked.
So this video is about how Rosemont High School, it's like a city close by where we grew up. I dated a guy from there. And they pulled a prank on all their like captains of their sports teams and stuff where they had them all blindfolded. They had like the rah-rah, you know, like fancy excitement music going on. And then all they knew was that they were going to like make out with some person. They don't know who it is. The person they had chosen to come up in all this exciting music and everybody's pumping their fists was their parents.
Ooh.
So they're making out. One parent moved the guy's hand down to her butt so he could grab onto her butt while they're making out. Like, what the hell? And then nobody really believed that was real until the school issued an apology. Like, what the hell? And this is what he finds out about Minnesota.
Yeah.
Googling us. You know, I'm like, holy crap.
Do you have any duct tape?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. My eczema's flaring up. I'm just looking to get something to cover it up because Band-Aid don't cover fucking.
We'll be back. I'll grab another wine while I'm up.
Yeah. So I told him that I would tell him some crazy stories. Florida is a really screwed up place.
And you just look up Florida Man and just read.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the term Florida Man? You can Google Florida Man and it has all these crazy things. Florida Man eats an ear off. Florida Man, you know, chewed his own. Yeah, Google.
Yeah. Florida Man hops through drive-through window, punches cashier in the face, and then runs out the front door and wrestles an alligator. Like,
Yeah. It's insane. Oh my gosh. I honestly, like, I'm sure you're like me. Like, we find ourselves in the situations that, like, nobody would ever believe. Like, you're the person that the weird things happen to, you know?
No, mine are more accidents than they are weird. It's just all like you go into a scenario, right? And you're like, okay, you're the problem solver. Let me fix this thing, and then we can go on about our business. You know, it's a mission. You know, you can tackle it or whatever. And it's not like a difficult thing, you know. It's like something dumb, like taking out the fucking trash or whatever. I go into it, and somehow, like halfway through or 3/4 of the way doing whatever the task, I end up either hurting myself, damaging property, or some shit.
Matt, you're gonna want to get some like freaking scissors for him so he can like cut that off.
Oh, is that it?
Don't die the next few days.
I won't be drinking that much, and maybe unless Stephen P shows up.
Man, that last time he was so sick. Like, it was crazy. Don't choose one with all the cat hair on it.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Poor Devin Bacon here is allergic to animals. We have a zoo. Poor guy.
Yeah, 5 cats.
He
3
literally
dogs.
leaves here every time with like Benadryl in his system.
Yeah,
Hey, what
so
happened?
that's all what I've already had. So like, if I seem lethargic.
Wait, how old is your son? How old are you? You didn't look like you're old enough to have a son that can drink.
Well, he's in Germany. You can drink at 13.
Oh, your son's 17. Okay. Okay, I'm older than you, so I got you beat. But I think you're older than these guys here.
Barely, but yeah.
I mean, your birthday's not until April.
Yeah.
Say he was fit.
Of course. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Those punk kids and their no hangoverness.
So I went to my 25-year-old high school reunion, like the end of July. And I mean, I was drinking like Southern Comfort and Cokes and stuff. And I drank, I mean, I've never drank to the point that I've lost count.
Agreed.
But I drank at least 15 Southern Comfort and Cokes that night.
Youth is wasted on the young.
Like,
that is true.
I can't believe I drank that much.
That's
and
a lot.
I was not like hungover
Although
the next
Southern
day.
Comfort it's more than wine, but it's not. It's a liqueur, so it's not like super. I think it's only like 60 proof, which is still pretty high.
It's not. It's a whiskey.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, then it's 70 proof.
I was buying Andy Jameson's and Coke, and then I was drinking Southern Comfort and Coke, and then sometimes I was getting Jameson's and Coke. So I don't know. It was just like a lot of drinks.
All right, so this one is
Okay,
Bailando.
he's gonna butcher all this. Okay,
Yeah.
Chris, sorry.
Bailando Malbec. 2019, medium-bodied red. A lush yet vibrant Malbec with a deep purple hue, dark berry fruit flavors, earthy undertones, and a velvety texture. Bailando delivers a tango to your tongue. Food-friendly, palate-pleasing, and oh so smooth. This Argentine beauty offers a great alternative to Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot.
Well, you didn't butcher it that bad, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
He made it through the reading.
Noise.
He
Thank
dropped
you.
the bass.
The bass. Boom.
Oh, I know. That frog, it pisses Pierre off.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, no wonder it's so
7
loud out
frogs.
there.
We got like a whole cluster of frogs in our backyard, in our canopy. Okay, you want to tell him what is the funniest story you know about me to tell Chris?
Oh, man. You are my crush. Hello.
Hey.
Welcome. She is cute. You're right.
Wait, are you
Read the
talking about
description of a
about him or me?
Lafroig? Well, they said she is cute. So.
He wants to hear all weird stories. So tell him a good one first.
Okay, so I think we've told a lot of these on the show before, but it's been, 67 episodes now? So it's probably been a while.
No, I'm just a nursing student, so I'm not really made of money.
Not really.
This has got to be Squirtle.
Maybe. Just on...
Squirtle, is this you on a different channel?
Just on the old Twitch.
Okay. Go on.
Anyway. All right, so in our first year of marriage, we had a lot of funny things happen. Okay, it's not Squirtle, as they say.
Well, welcome to the channel. You are my crush.
Welcome aboard. Thank you for the follow. You are my crush. Hopefully we don't lose audio here. The dog's getting all tangled up. All right.
Yeah, buy me a coffee. Sheesh.
Barley. Okay, story time. All right, our first year of marriage.
Fucking this up over here.
We
All right, go on.
Okay,
You're
so
like a slow ass storyteller.
Yeah, so we're getting to know each other. It's our first year being married, and
you actually were deployed the first whole year.
Oh, I was deployed. So it's our first year together after being married. It's actually our second year of marriage, because.
Yes.
Well, I'm being interrupted. Is really what's.
Whatever. Move on.
Anyway.
Good Lord.
So, while I was deployed, Chrissy May was involved in a citizen's arrest at the Lowe's, which is a whole nother story, but it should have been like a big red flag of things to come. So we are
now he's 50 red flags in and there ain't no turning back. He's
So we're sitting. I'm doing dishes, and the way that our house was set up, where we were living at the time was
we were on the corner of an intersection, like two streets, and one had a stop sign.
The sink had the window above it that was looking down onto the road. And the house that we were in was in what they call an upcoming neighborhood, which if you're familiar with realty terms, it means it's prior gang territory that they push the gangs out of, and they're trying to get middle class families into to bring the value of the neighborhood up. So we didn't know that at the time, when we moved in. We found out about it later. And so I'm sitting there doing the dishes, and I look out the window, and there's this car that parks across. We had a little, it really isn't justified being called a driveway, but it was a section of the sidewalk that led into our downstairs garage, which was really just a hole in the side of the wall.
It was just a tuck under garage.
It's not really a garage, because you had to come in at an angle or you'd take the stairs out. So this car parked and blocked off where our garage door was, and I was like, oh, that's weird. There's some car out there just parked in front of our house. And Chrissy May goes, what? And I was like, yeah, some car just parked in front of our house. And now there's some lady that's running down the sidewalk yelling at them. Oh, that's you. I'm just talking to myself now. So Chrissy May just I just said there was a car parked in front of the house, and she goes running out the front door, around the corner, with her phone, taking pictures, you're not doing drug deals in front of my house. I got your picture. Get the hell out of here. And then the car goes speeding off, and she comes storming on back in, and I was like, man, you're going to get yourself shot one of these days.
Goddamn fucking stormtrooper over here. Jesus.
So then he came home on R&R, which is leave or whatever. Yeah, act like a Karen.
Oh, thank you for the follow over there.
So
no, the definition of a Karen is being acting offended or irate towards shit that has nothing to fucking do with you.
No, that wasn't me.
Yeah, it's not being a Karen.
Chrissy was not being a Karen of the deal. She reckless.
Yeah, but I've been,
Yes, definitely
I've been more
reckless.
reckless too, because there was a time that Gitch was home. It was like 4th of July.
Yeah.
He was home on leave. He had just come back from like Afghanistan, you know, and we were hearing all these explosions outside, and I was used to it because like the low section housing was catty corner to us, so I was used to hearing shots in the night, but like he wasn't, you know. And then it sounded like way louder than a shotgun, so like he sent our dog outside to go check out the backyard, and then Ginger was just like all freaked out and everything. So then I went outside and I started checking things out, and they had like a homemade pipe bomb type thing out like in the middle of the road that would like shoot up, and then it would like land on people's homes, cars, whatever. It was just shooting
they were
shit up.
launching homemade bottle rockets basically.
Yeah, but they were using our yard to like shoot them off from. So I went out there and I started collecting all the shit and everything, and then like I waited for them in the bushes, and then these like 2 hooded characters came down the back alley, and they were just like looking around for all the shit, and I jump out at them with my phone, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you looking for these?" And then I started chasing them down the street.
Yeah, chasing them down the street toward the abandoned house that they were probably squatting in. Yeah. He's like, "Don't you ever come back to my house again."
Well, and I was seeing all these pictures and everything. I pictured the house. I sent it in. I was in good like
Damn, fuck sending the CIA or the fucking NSA or the fucking FBI. Just send fucking Chrissy over there with a cell phone.
Yeah.
Well, and
She'll find your insider threat real quick.
I was sending all this information
It's
to
crazy
the
as an American,
to
too.
the neighborhood cop, and then we went to the neighborhood watch meeting, and like I don't think he understood what was going on, because like I got set up with a radar gun for like detecting like speed and stuff.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of speeders on our street, so. No, I just go out looking.
Yeah.
So I would sit in my driveway and just with my radar gun, I would like clock people and I videotape them, so that way we could get like a speed bump or like a, you know, a slow down sign or something, you know. And when we were moving away from the state, like we were gonna go move to Alabama, and the last thing I was like, "Oh crap, we got to turn my radar gun back into the police department." And he was just like, "What the hell? What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Yeah, just bring this back in and, you know, let them know we're done using it."
I knew you had the radar gun, but the funny part was the police's like, because I was like, "Oh, of course my wife has a radar gun. She got the radar gun from the guy." And so I went into the police station and I was like, "Hey, I got to turn this in." My wife had it, and they were like, "Who's your wife now?" And I was like, "Well, she's part of the neighborhood watch." And they were like, "And why does she have one of our radar guns?" It's like, "Because you gave it to her." And they were like, "Not likely, but thank you for returning this."
So my neighborhood in the middle of town is the street. I've told y'all this before, where it goes next to the house is the local fucking drag strip. Like anybody that hits that road or whatever, because
that's really not
it goes
even
from 40 to
not even the
35
worst.
to 25 to 35 to 40, and it's a big old dip that goes down. At the dip is the intersection that's right next to my apartment. So everybody like hauls ass going down this daggone road, and then occasionally you'll catch one that aren't ready for the come back up and the bump in the road, and it knocks them off. This happened this happened on January 30th, but that is an engine fire because they clear off the fucking road through the fence and hit the apartment building I would live in.
Sheesh.
It hit so hard that I had time to get my clothes on and go step out on the balcony and light a cigarette, and I looked down at the pool and the water was still sloshing around coming out the top of the pool because they hit everything so daggone fucking hard. Yeah, it was insane. And then while I'm out there smoking a cigarette going like, "Well, shit, like, well, there goes my sleep," you know, because there's like, I had DoorDash, so I had food on the way. They got turned around because it was all blocked off. There was like 10 squad cars like on them like that. I'm wondering if the guy was being chased.
It must have been.
Because he got out of the vehicle and he went around the back side of the freaking the pool and stuff, and they caught him up over by the freaking leasing office or whatever.
Yeah, he was probably being chased. He was probably trying to run.
That's me
They
on
are-
Twitch.
Both Chris and that other You Are My Crush moved over to your channel.
Oh, okay.
That's why you got the follow.
Oh, I got the follow?
Yeah, the little heart that was rotating.
Know that? I thought it was you.
No, that's your channel.
Well, look at me. I'm more popular than I thought.
But yeah, that's not the only wreck either. So yesterday, or no, it was the day before. Was it Friday? Yeah. I got off work early, right? I get off work at like noon.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, it's Friday, let's get out, come home. My 2 monitors were in. So, all right, well, I want to set those up.
Dude, he's got like a whole wall of TV
I want to
monitors.
get all the wires run, we get it set up, and while I'm in the middle of mounting this shit,
Go get one. We'll be here waiting for you.
the fucking power goes out. And I'm like, I pull up the Public Works website or whatever to figure out what's going on. It was a fucking vehicle accident. Somebody took out like a fucking telephone pole with power lines on it, or one of those green power boxes or some shit. That fucking power was out for 4 fucking hours.
Memes, prejudice, and TV shows. That's pretty much America, yeah.
Yeah. There's a wreck at that intersection on the corner of my apartment building. There's at least 2 to 3 wrecks in that same intersection every fucking week. 2 to 3 a week.
Dude, you don't need to live there.
Well, that's
They're
like
gonna,
there's always a
the
wreck
first
out
year and a
here,
half
too.
I was here, the 20-minute drive it takes me to get to the hangar and get back, whether going in on post or coming off at the end of the day, I saw a really shitty, like a wreck bad enough to total a vehicle every day for a year and a half. It took COVID to knock that shit off.
Well, now people are worse
now
drivers
they're
than
getting-
ever.
Yeah, now they're getting. I'm gonna grab
Holy
a different.
fuck.
Okay.
Okay, you gotta tell him the Pedro. or
The Jorge.
Yeah, because he's never heard that. We've all heard it.
All right.
So Jorge.
So this is kind of a longer story, and it starts with Chrissy May and I going out to sing karaoke at one of her. I didn't know this at the time, but she was a business banker, and it was one of her customers' bars. So she had gotten this person the ability to be funded with some sort of loan product.
Yeah, like I got her to like her commercial. Her commercial business loan for her building and her renovation and all her stuff.
So she was very, very happy with Chrissy May. But I didn't know this. I just knew that this was a bar that Chrissy May wanted to go to, and she liked doing karaoke. And the karaoke person was like prior National Guard, so it was just cool all around and whatever. So we get there, we go through the whole night doing karaoke, and I found out before we got there that Chrissy May had never had an adios motherfucker. So we started the night with some gin and tonics because it was like it's our favorite drink, and Mac and Jacks, right?
Yeah, Mac and Jacks.
Oh,
And
Mac
it was
and Jacks,
it was
Jesus,
2 for
I miss
ones. It was 2 for ones, but I was driving, so I didn't. I had a couple Mac and Jacks, and then I was done. So every time we got a drink, and we got 2 of them, she would drink both of them because I was driving. And so we did the gin and tonics, which is quite a bit when you're a small female. And then I was like, well, you've never had an adios motherfucker, so let's have that. And she's like, well, what is an adios motherfucker? And I said, well, it's a Long Island iced tea, but instead of a splash of Coke, you put another shot of Blue Caraco in it, so it's even more alcoholic. Or Curacao, I guess is how it's pronounced. But she was like, well, I need to know what a Long Island iced tea tastes like. So I was like, okay, well, let's get a Long Island iced tea first.
They were 2 for ones,
Yeah.
remind you.
And so she drinks the Long Island iced tea, and she's like, this isn't even that bad. And I was like, yeah, just wait till it hits you.
I got a good Long
And
Island
then-
iced tea for you story here in a minute when he's done.
And then of course we get the adios motherfucker, which is the Blue Curacao, so it's even more alcoholic. And then I was like, well, now that you've had the adios motherfucker, you need to try the aloha motherfucker, which now you just replace the Blue Curacao with Cointreau, and it tastes like pineapple juice. It's like
So
the
I've
most,
had like 6 of these
the
drinks
most
now.
dangerous.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah, Yeah, the most dangerous
Plus
Long
4
Island
gin and
variant ever.
tonics, 4 Mac and Jacks. Like,
Yeah, and so.
That's good. I
So,
like that.
just a quick aside: if you see us, like if you chat in chat and you see us all pause and kind of look, the chat gets read to us by the speakers, so it's us listening to you talk. So it may look awkward, but we're just listening to what you're saying, and then that's why the pause and the laughter there. But anyway.
so then I'm sitting there talking to the karaoke guy.
Well, not yet.
Oh, not yet.
Or yeah, you were. You started talking to the karaoke guy, and then you were like, and then they said, okay.
We were talking war stories, the National
They were
Guard
like,
war stories.
all right, last call.
Yeah.
You don't have to go home, but you
Yeah.
can't stay here. And all the lights come on, so it's like, and I'm sober, and I've been to enough bars. I've closed out enough bars in my youth that I know that when the lights come on, it's time to start like heading toward the door. So the lights come on, and Chrissy May turns around and goes, Gitch.
Hey, Gandalf.
You gotta get me a PBR. I want to have a PBR. And I was like, Chrissy May, they just said last call. They're not gonna give me a PBR for you. And she's like, just go up to the bar, ask that lady for a PBR. And I was like, okay, I'll do it, cause just make you happy. Hey, Gandalf, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Well, nothing I can do about it.
It's a Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's like super shitty beer.
It's really cheap beer.
Really shitty. Yeah.
The lightest of light beers.
And so I headed down, or I went over to the bar, and I was like, hey, I know she wants a PBR, and I did not expect to get one. I had like my body language and my tone of voice and everything said, I don't expect to get this. She's just asking for it. I know you said last call, and I'm just gonna come up here and appease her, and then go back and tell her that you said no. And so the lady behind the bar like looks left, and then looks to the other side, and then pulls out the biggest freaking it was giant. It was like a full 6-pack in a can. Hugest PBR I've ever seen. And she goes, tell her she's got 5 minutes. And I was like, what the? And mind you, by this point, I've already been like shoving liquor down my wife's throat the whole night. So I know she's
It's
way
past
past
the I'm
drunk.
getting lucky tonight
Yeah.
part to the I'm letting her
I
ass
gotta
to
take
bed
care.
in the
Yeah,
car.
I got somebody to take care of tonight. So I'm like, okay, well, I walk up to her and I'm like, hey, she said you got 5 minutes to drink it, and she's got like tiny Chrissy May hand, huge can of PBR.
It's like the mini Heineken.
It's like
can.
comically
Yeah.
large, comically large can of PBR. And she's just talking to this guy, and they're telling stories. And I was like, all right, cool. She's gonna like run out her 5 minutes talking to this guy, and I don't got to worry about another drink that she's possibly gonna get sick on. And then like they're talking, and then all of a sudden the guy goes, hey, you only got like 2 minutes left for that can. And she's like, oh yeah. Just starts chugging it down, and then she's like, it tastes just like spiced beer. Just throwing it back. She's like, you gotta try it, it tastes like spiced beer. And I'm like, okay. And I took it and put it on the bar.
And I remember you led me away.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, it tastes like spiced beer, you're right, yeah. Let's go. Yeah.
I get 3 halves, and you guys.
Yeah, that's right. And so I get her to the car, or we had the little tiny pickup truck at the time, and I get her loaded in the
Ooh, it's my
passenger
nice
side.
pickup truck.
It was the Nissan Frontier without air conditioning. It was a tiny pickup truck. But anyway, I get her in the passenger side, and I go hop in the driver's side. We're driving home, listening to the country music station, and she starts singing along, but she's got the hiccups because she's been drinking a lot, and so she's singing. And stop it! No! She's like yelling at herself. For hiccuping.
No, she
was.
I was.
She
Yeah,
was.
I
Yeah.
was.
She's yelling at herself for hiccuping. the whole way home. And then we get home, and it was funny because where we lived again, Rammstein.
No, I didn't go over there.
Where we live, it was in the city, so you park on the side of the road, and so I parked by the curb, and it just so happened that there was a patrolling police officer car going the other direction that saw me pull over and park, so they just stopped, and they were like, all right, well, we're gonna see what happens here, and she opens the door. Oh, gotcha. She opens the door and just face plants into the median or the little grass section.
Yeah.
by the sidewalk, and so the cops are like, all right, let's see how this plays out. So I get out of the driver's seat and I wave at him and I walk around and pick her up, and they're like, okay, well, obviously he's sober and he was driving, so we'll move on about our time. So they drive off, but now she's got that the cops were there in her head.
No.
This comes into play later. So I get her up to the house, and we had this like little, I don't know what you call it, like a column in front of our house.
Those little white,
put like a tiger,
white columns
one of those
that have the
tiger things
lions sitting on top of them and stuff. Yeah.
But it didn't have anything on top of it, so I set her on it, and I said, don't move, I gotta unlock the door. And so I set her on the thing, and I unlock the door, and no sooner than I get the door unlocked and open, I hear, help me. I turn around, and she's just on her back on top of this thing, like rolling back and forth. I'm like, you're gonna fall. God. So I pick her up, and I get her into the house, and I just chuck my jacket. It turns out I chucked it on top of the space heater because we had oil heating at the time, which is like ridiculously expensive. It was like $2,000 a month to fill the tank. It was ridiculous. So we got space heaters. We used electric space heaters instead of that garbage. And so we
It's just Barley.
yeah, but
He's just laying there. So then he gets me into the bed and everything, and he goes to get me
first I got you into the bathroom.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because she had to go to the bathroom, and we had this cat at the time that was mostly white with some like a black patch on his face and like a black spot on his back.
Sniffles.
No, it was Snort.
It was Sniffles behind me.
No, it was Snort.
I absolutely know it was Sniffles because I heard.
Okay, well. Anyway, one of our cats jumped out from behind the toilet, and it was black and white, and she associated that with the police car, and she's like, it's the cops! And jumped off the toilet, the spread eagle on the floor, like all spread out with her face down, because she thought she was going to get arrested. And I was like, it's not the cops, it's just the cat. It's the cat? Yeah, it's just the cat. Okay. So she got up, got herself cleaned off, and we got her into bed. And then I learned why my parents always had a puke bucket in the house, because we didn't have a puke bucket. And I was like, well, there's a good chance she's going to get sick. That's the question.
She's drunk, thinking she was going to get
arrested for being intoxicated. And so I got her into bed, and then I went to find some sort of vessel that she could throw up in, and I found a garbage bag, and so I brought it into the bed and I tucked it under the side of the mattress, and I was like, hey honey, you got a bag over here. If you're gonna throw up, just reach down to the side and open it up and then puke into the bag. And she looked up at me and she's like, Jorge's not gonna be very happy that you're standing in his spot. And I was like, excuse me?
Who the fuck is Jorge?
I don't know.
Who's Jorge? And she goes, Jorge's not going to be happy that you're speaking his language. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then no sooner than I asked what she's talking about, the entire hanger in the closet just smashed down on the ground. And she's like, Jorge's mad. Yeah.
Jesus.
It was ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever threw up after drinking. Like the next day I was hungover. That was my first hangover.
Yeah.
I was, 34?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
last
would have
time
been
I got super
28.
trashed was the trip that we
You were
took
33.
to the New York Giants game that we went on a while back, right? Prior to that, probably like two or 3 weeks, we had actually gone to Atlantic City, and we stayed in the like the fucking casino hotel or whatever. And me and one of the pilots got so daggum trashed that I actually ended up getting fucking sick.
Oh, it was like you were in the military then.
No. This is.
It's like with your group now.
Yeah, it was last year.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I ended up getting sick, and they thought I might have had like COVID or some shit, so I had to go get tested. So somebody else had to cover my job for the day. Well, after getting that drunk to the point I got sick, I was just like, okay, well, clearly I can't do this again.
Yeah, they're still in the military. I'm out.
So clearly I can't drink that much when I'm out on the road, because I run the risk of getting sick again, and this is what happens, right? Well,
I sent him a bunch of pictures on WhatsApp so he can see.
well, so I go downstairs, and
It should be back on. Yeah.
me and my supervisor go down to the hotel bar, right? And we're like, okay, cool, we'll have like a beer, try to figure out what we're gonna do for one of these nights that we're out there. And you've got like some dance scene from like preteen chicks or whatever that's up on like the second floor. Like this is like one of these blown up like hotels. There's like a convention going on, right?
Huge.
So it's a lot of noise and racket. And there's people in like the dining area and the bar area and all that stuff, you know? So we're trying to figure out, it's like, oh, what the fuck are we gonna go, let's go do? There's like Mall of America that's like right across the street, or this or that or whatever. So we're waiting, we get through about like a beer, and then some of my pilots come down. And then like one of us like, yeah, we're gonna go do Mall of America. So all right, so we hop in the
Because
room.
they're Minnesota?
No. We're in Jersey.
Oh, okay.
There's like another like big mall or Mall
okay.
America or whatever. It's got like the whole roller coaster shit inside of it. We can see it across the fucking highway from where we're at. So we're like, hey, we're gonna go check it out, right? We go out there, it's all closed the fuck down. We're bored as shit because we're just walking around. There's like 2 or 3 stores actually fucking open. So we like come fucking back, and we're like, all right, cool. Everybody's still having a blast in the fucking bar. So we're like, fuck it, we're gonna go in there. And then it had been a hot minute since I had Long Island iced teas, and so we start on.
Yeah.
I do 1 Long Island. I do 2 Long Island. I get about halfway through the 3rd. I ended up pissing off some of the guys that I was with because we try to be like low key that we're military when we're out in public spaces in certain settings.
Right.
Because there was this freaking this regular that wasn't staying in the hotel at all. You know, he's clearly like from Jersey coming in and like having these conversations, and the guy he's talking to these other guys, and he's just kind of pissing them all off. And they ended up pawning this guy off to me because I'm fucking trashed. And so I'm like, we go outside to smoke a cigarette, and I'm like, hey man, I gotta go use the restroom or whatever. Like, not to cut you off or whatever. I go into the fucking elevator. I go upstairs in my room.
You went all the way to your room to go pee?
To go shit.
Oh, okay.
But because this is how drunk I was after fucking 2.5 fucking Long Islands, and they might have spiked them sons of bitches. Because I was so disoriented and out of my mind that I freaking ended up in the shower, because this is what happens when I get stupid, like slobber drunk, like don't know where I'm at type kind of drunk. End up in the shower, but this shower, the floor is level. There's no like little parapet or anything like that to separate the water in the shower with the rest of the bathroom. And I end up so I'm laying down on the shower floor with the water hitting me and stuff, just trying to like calm down or whatever, because I'm like just
sounds like some other drunk I know.
Because I'm so fucking trashed. Little did I know, my fucking white ass was fucking covering the drain.
Oh Jesus! Cigarette,
I flooded my
floor.
fucking room with 6 inches of fucking water. Because you think you're only in there for like, oh, I was in there for like 10, 15 minutes, just trying to like sober up. No, I was in there doing that shit for 3 fucking hours.
Yeah.
I gotta bang on the fucking door.
Sounds about right.
Because there's water pouring under my fucking the door jam and shit. I've never seen so many freaking like towels and washcloths just come out of fucking closets and stuff to get it all mopped up. I was so daggum embarrassed and shit. Like I didn't tell my boss about it for like a week. Because I'm, you're listed as you're associate, military, whatever, and I'm just being a really piss poor fucking representative. But yeah, I flooded out that fucking hotel room. That's the only time I've ever like done that shit in a hotel room.
I flooded a hotel room once. I was a teenager. I was in the Future Farmers of America, and I earned my way to the national convention, and it was in Kansas City. So like, our advisor was like, no, don't bring swimsuits. We're not going to swim pools. Like blah 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 blah. We're staying in this super amazing hotel. It's like a landmark hotel. It's old as shit. Everything's cool in it, and there's a pool. Like, why aren't we allowed to have freaking swimsuits when there's a pool there? No. We're just gonna go swim in our underwear. So I'm shaving my legs. And I got my foot up on the toilet with my bar of soap, and I'm shaving and everything. And then I'm sharing the room with 4 other girls, and their door was open in the main room. And all of a sudden they come screaming, "The guys are coming!" And I freaked out, and then I slipped on my soapy foot, and my knee hit the front of the toilet bowl, and the whole front of the toilet just cracked off.
Oh Jesus!
And it cut my toe. My big toe was bleeding. There was blood everywhere, water everywhere. And and I come out of the our advisor comes in because everybody's screaming I broke the toilet, and I'm holding this front of the toilet it was heavy, and I'm carrying it out to the hallway. I'm I don't know what to do, and my advisor's holy shit, you literally broke the toilet off of the toilet. A whole front of the bowl came off. I don't even know how that happened. It was just my little knee. I was 105 pounds. How do I do that,
So you were part of the FAA. Or
yeah, FFA. Yep.
FFA.
Yep.
Well, when it comes to hotels, I'm part of the FFF. The fighting, fucking, or flooding.
Fighting, fucking, or flooding. I'm the flooding part.
Yeah.
Sometimes the fighting.
Oh, the fighting. The fighting only happened one time. I was a senior in high school when that happened. I almost pushed a guy off a fucking balcony.
I've been in a couple fights. A lot of the time it's on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, so romantic movies. He's never figured out if they marry in the end.
Almost always.
Yeah, almost always. So that way they can have an additional movie to talk about the demise of their relationship.
Yeah, if you're looking at Hallmark shit or classic movies and stuff.
I watch a lot of classic movies.
Nowadays, a lot of the stuff is oh, they were dating, will they, won't they, will they, won't they, oh, meet cute, blah, 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 oh, we had sex at one time and
the
stuff.
Meet
He proposes.
Cute. So I've never heard that phrase until this year, and it, for some reason, just gets on my nerves.
Yeah,
I don't understand what it means.
That's the first time I've used it.
What does it mean?
It's it's the circumstances through which the romantic interests in a romantic comedy meet.
Yeah.
I have funny situations like that.
Well, but nowadays, the sequel and shit is always just all oh, this straight to the, oh, we didn't marry, or the divorce.
There's a new movie coming out with Julia Roberts and George Clooney where they were married, and then they get together for their daughter's wedding years later, and then they normally couldn't ever stand being in the same room together, but apparently this is them getting back together in the weird way or whatever. Totally embarrasses their daughter. They're trying to be super nice. They hated each other like cats and dogs before, but I'm sure they end up together in this one.
Oh.
I'm kind of excited to see it.
I think the last time I seen them two in a movie was
Ocean's 11 or whatever?
Ocean's 11 or 12, yeah.
You don't have this rules. I watch a lot of old movies, like black and white movies, so it's pretty predictable. This wine smells weird.
You think so?
I didn't even smell it. I just started drinking it.
I just started drinking it.
Smell it.
I mean, I have it in my own cup.
Does mine
Your
smell
cup
different?
smells different than my cup.
Yeah.
What is wrong with my cup?
Did you spray perfume in there or something?
Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't smell right.
It doesn't smell like my cup.
58.
Are you smelling her lip gloss around the rim?
I think so. I think it's your lip gloss.
Oh, I need a paper towel then. Everybody's like, we had to kiss now. Well, in America, you don't wait that long to kiss. You're probably kissing like after immediately meeting now. It wasn't like that when I was young. Yeah, when I was young, it wasn't like that. But like when Gitch and I met, Gandalf took pictures of us making out the whole night, and then I never got any. He deleted them all.
Well, because I threatened him with violence.
What kind of crappy boyfriend are you?
Well, at the time, I was terrified as what kind of crappy boyfriend I was.
Terrified of what?
Falling in love.
He's laughing at my trying to drink this. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I like it.
Yeah, it's smooth if you can get past the smell of my lip gloss on my cup. I want to come. I want to come.
We definitely want to go. It would be cool to get stationed there, but there's very few slots available.
Well, and we have a house of animals.
That's also true.
It's a zoo of animals.
Yeah.
We have like 5 cats to bring over.
Jabebe YouTube, welcome back.
3 dogs. Hey, Jabet. Jabebeyet?
Jabe YouTube.
Oh,
Jabe YouTube.
We haven't seen him for a long time.
I've been watching his shorts though.
I like good beer. I like good
He
beer.
does
I like
a lot of
safety. That way I don't have to citizens arrest anybody.
Minecraft, yeah. It would be awesome to go to Germany as an adult because I went there as a 13-year-old and had a sip of beer and a sip of ouzo.
Oh, I didn't know that happened there.
Yeah, I was exposed to that as a 13-year-old in Germany.
Yeah, but nobody would want to see me naked and sunbathing. Like I have like a surgical stomach. Like it looks like somebody took an ice cream scooper to the one side of my stomach. It's like a Frankenstein.
I don't mind seeing you naked.
You're married to me.
Well, I still
it's
like it.
what you signed up for.
It's what I signed on the dotted line for. It was the Flanagans. You took pictures of us at Flanagans. Was it at the Tiki Bar? I don't remember making out at the Tiki Bar.
Yeah, we were.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we were. Yeah. We were definitely making out at O'Flanagan's, though.
So guys don't walk around with like boners and stuff like that on the naked beach.
Yeah, in Germany, it's just like a normal thing. Like there's nudity in their commercials.
Huh.
It's not as they're not as prudish as us Americans. Yeah, it's just a normal thing.
And they're not all old people because like the naked beaches here in the United States are like they're just all old people there.
No, the lady that I saw when I was 13, like my mom and I went up the hotel we were staying at had a pool on the rooftop with a sunbathing had a sunbathing thing.
Jesus.
And we went
Devin
up there.
Bacon's playing with frogs outside.
My mom and I went up there because I wanted to go swim in the pool, and she wanted to sit and read her book. And And we got up there, and there was like a 20-something just like sunbathing on the roof, completely naked, just laying there in the sun.
Is that the first time you saw boobs?
That's not the first time I saw boobs.
When was the first time you saw boobs?
Probably when I walked in on my dad looking at porn.
Oh.
I mean, like boobs in the flesh, like.
I mean,
was it me?
does my mom's boobs count?
No.
Because
Oh God.
Those are familial boobs. Those don't count because if we were counting those, my great grandmother would be mine.
so
Yes.
Oh, God.
I think in person, probably the first time I seen boobs. Yeah.
It was
For
magical.
me, I was with my mom.
Pants boobs
So
count. Honestly, to me, it wasn't that epic of a moment. So I don't.
to me, it was fucking terrifying because I was with my mom.
Wait, what? You saw boobs with your mom?
Yeah, I just said we went on the roof of the hotel to go to the pool, and there was
That's the
some
first
lady
time you saw boobs. Was in Germany.
person. Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, so the first time I saw boobs in the flesh that I wasn't related to was, so I think it was the summer between 8th grade and freshman year. And there was like, so me,
Yeah, that's when I went to Germany.
me and my friend, right? Me, I'm not that much younger than you, bro. So me and my buddy, he had a girlfriend or this chick he was seeing, right? So his mom dropped us off at her place, right? We were all just, it ended up just being the three of us. There were supposed to be more people, just kind of hang out, whatever. Well, we decided just to go walk around the neighborhood. And in my hometown, a lot of neighborhoods are kind of sort of like sequestered off on the edge of like town. And so you'll have like canyons and just different desert land or whatever, just kind of on the outskirts or whatnot. Well, we go through one of these canyons, but then there's like a neighborhood road that's got to go across it. So now you have like an overpass, and you've got this square concrete section for the waterway to go up under this little overpass. And we were just hanging up under there. You can see like graffiti and bullshit or whatever on it. And we're just hanging out, throwing rocks in the little fucking creek bed and all that shit. And so my buddy ends up talking her into like flashing me. And I'm like, you always picture ahead of time that it's going to be like this big moment or whatever, like, oh shit. Nope. I was just like, okay, cool. Like, thanks, and that was it. And then you just feel weird and awkward for the rest of the fucking day. And then a week goes by, and then 2 weeks goes by. And then the next time you freaking, like, cause you're a teenage boy, so you got to take care of yourself every once in a while. And those visual images, like, that was the beginning of my spank bank inside my head. I don't know how long I ran with just that one fucking mental image in my head. I don't know how many years before I fucking finally discovered porn, but. That's cool.
What?
That's good for Mr. Beast.
So
I've got 95 subs.
Sniffles, just like.
Yeah, our cat is really not good at being a cat, and he's got a wide open counter he was just walking on, and he fell off the side because he tripped.
Oh, insano. Oh wow, all the animals are behind you, Dev.
Yeah, well, that's because he's allergic to them.
They all. Pierre's the only one who's respectful of me.
Yep. He's like.
He just looked up at you with his little wild eye.
Yeah, he
cage.
was like fucking snoring a minute ago. I'm like, dude, that's not even your cage, but hey, if you're comfy.
I got a picture of Barley in his cage. He was just like, I heard all this scratching forever, and I was like, what the hell's happening? And I look over, and there's Barley sitting inside Pierre's little tiny crate. I'm just like, I fit, don't I? No, you don't even fit all inside that crate, dude. Like, what the heck?
I don't know. I had a lot of scarring when I was young as far as like.
Do we even know this guy? who's talking about Mr. Beast?
Yeah, he's Jabay YouTube.
We know him.
Okay.
Do we know Gandalf?
I just don't know. Yes, we know Gandalf. I won't ban him. That was just a random thing just to throw in freaking chat. So I saw like.
So last time he was in, he was talking about how many subscribers and stuff he has. It's just something that is important to him.
So Chris, this last week when I was in Minnesota, I got like all my family's pictures, like literally everything from like beyond, like back to Holland.
Nice.
Some pictures from like people that lived in Germany before they went to Holland. Like, depending on what side of my family, I'm either like they were like Holland to Germany or Germany to Holland. So I don't understand that whole like time frame of why that happened. But I mean, it happened at a couple different times, like the 1600s, and then like later on, and then of course like. I don't know, by the time it was like, you know, Hitler's area or whatever, we were all already over here anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think that had anything to do with it. But yeah, I've got a lot of like pictures of like family in Germany and a lot of pictures of them back in Holland. So it's kind of interesting.
That is cool. I think if we ever went to Germany, to be honest, we would see all of it, because for us as Americans, it's not much to go to all parts of Germany.
I don't know. I'd probably find a little town that like I feel like I relate to. Oh, okay. That's not far.
Nice. We could ride our bike there.
I'd probably like find some little town and I'd be like, this is my home. And I just start making
Just
friends
stay there.
with like the locals and drink with them every day. And
So when we
I want to go see Ireland, because that's where all my like a big chunk of my family's from. We're Scotch Irish mix primarily.
I found out I'm Scotch too.
Nice.
Last time you were here, I had 98 subs, and now I have 95. So
No, I did like the whole ancestry.com stuff, and my dad's like real big into like the heritage and the family history type stuff. So there's two parts of my family, like on my dad's side. My mom's side's really difficult to track just because the documentation was crap, and then my grandmother was adopted, so it's real tricky there. My dad's side of the family, I can chase back through both branches of his great grandparents.
I knew you were gonna bring that up, Chris.
To
because we're a melting pot. We're all of us are immigrant families. I'm second generation American. My grandfather came over on the boat from Sweden. So
yeah, so I have pictures of like gravestones and stuff, pre-revolution.
That's cool.
American Revolution gravestones for some of my family members and stuff. They're part of like Protestants and the Quaker movement and like all that stuff. Like it's, I don't know, some of that
that's
stuff.
why all the immigration stuff is really funny to me, because
Also, I have seen my great grandfather's burger place.
Wow.
It's
I don't have that luxury. Like all my family members are overseas, except for like, I mean, at my great grandparents here were like, they were from another country. So like they're buried here. But like from then on is like where we have burials here. Everybody beyond that are overseas. So I've never gotten to see anything like that.
Wow.
I think on my grandmother's side, I've probably seen them, but I didn't know at the time, because the whole Masterman line.
The only weird thing about seeing that gravestone of my fourth great grandfather or whatever is the fact that that's Civil War era.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was part of the Confederacy because he's in fucking Texas. So
Right.
it's just all like, it's one of those things you want to like, hey, this is so cool that I get to see it. Yeah, it's not like I knew the fucking man, you know what I mean?
But still, it's cool.
But you got to be really careful about who you tell that shit to though nowadays.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's true.
It's because it's a big deal. It's a big deal to track your lineage in America, because we all come from different lineages. Whereas, in other countries, it's, there are people that live there that are from a different country, but they just moved there from that other country.
Well, and also I think
Versus
like
we have long historic
when you're a little
ancestral
child
lines.
and you're in school, they immediately start banging into your head that this is the melting pot.
Yeah,
Like this
that's
is
true.
where everybody comes from other countries, like you just all mix together and it's a melting pot. And so like I know for myself, like immediately I started thinking like, oh wow, so we all came from somewhere else. So I never really associated as like America being like who I am. I always like was like, well, we're from somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's
You know?
A big part of being American is being from somewhere else.
That's the thing is because like going on that whole melting pot stuff is because we were the new world.
Yeah.
So a lot of people from primarily from European countries and stuff like that, but it wasn't even just them. Like I mean, you had Chinese immigrants, you had Japanese immigrants, you had Korean immigrants. A lot of like you had Middle East immigrants. Now like in varying proportions and stuff, but they came here because it was unsettled land.
Yeah.
Everybody else on the other side of everywhere else in the world, except for the exception of maybe South America. I'm not really understanding.
To be fair, it was settled. It was settled land.
Well, yes.
It was settled.
I thank you for the correction. It was settled land. We just stole it.
Yeah, we stole the land.
That's some of my childhood brainwashing coming out. Apologies. Yeah, I mean it was the promise of a new life and stuff. If you didn't like how you're being treated or the rules and all that other stuff from over there, like you come over here and it was like even before the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, all that stuff, it still had this promise of freedom.
Yeah.
I don't have the king breathing down my neck.
Yeah.
I don't
Exactly.
have the czar breathing down my neck or none of this stuff. I can go out and I can farm this land and call it mine.
That's what we'll do if you come here.
That's the
A long time ago, that's how it was.
that's the propaganda. Yeah, that's the
now
that's
it's
the
all
Thanksgiving
like,
propaganda.
oh, you weren't born here? How'd you get here? And what are you doing here? And if you don't assimilate or speak the language, we don't want nothing to do with you.
Yeah, that's
Now,
true.
I say that
Now he's
I say
from
that
Texas.
as a like facetiously, like
But
kind of
also,
like as a joke,
like,
because some people do think that way.
You're from Texas, which is real close to Mexico. You see a lot of like people that are from like different areas than just like, over in Europe or whatever. Like you mostly see a lot of people that are like, Mexican. That
I like even like the workforce and all that stuff. There was a lot of what they label as illegal immigrants. Falsified green cards and different things or whatever. I agree with coming into the country legally and by means. However, the only thing there's two things that I don't agree with is the length and in order to come into the country, because that whole bullshit test of like memorize this and this so you can fucking come in.
When people that live
hot
here don't
fucking
even know
garbage.
that.
I'm sorry, you didn't know shit about this place when you fucking farmed it out and killed all the Indians. Like you didn't know nothing about them. You didn't take a fucking test. You just came over and conquered.
You
so
mean
fuck
the,
you.
the natives?
Yes, natives, Native Americans. Sorry. The other thing is they're very they have a lot of cultural values and stuff that I feel like just other Americans can fucking learn from. Like
yeah.
how strong their family bonds are, the things that are important to them and stuff like that. And my first girlfriend, she was fucking Mexican. She was second generation. Her parents didn't speak a lick of freaking English. But you know what? When we started dating, there was times her mom, she knew just enough English to be able to text me to come over for dinner. Girlfriend wouldn't even be in the fucking house. She'd be doing something. This is like high school days.
Family's
And
a big
she
deal.
would bring me over and try to fatten me up.
Yeah, you
because
need fattening up. Look at you.
I was 130 freaking pounds soaking wet, but she treated me as her kid. And I was just all like, white people don't do that shit. They're skeptical of everybody they meet.
Oh, well, except
Well,
me.
very, very xenophobic. Yeah.
Well,
it
even
depends
towards
on
white people,
I know.
other white people.
Oh, I know. It's
Well, why this or why that or what are they into?
It
How
really
much do they
depends
make?
on. It really depends on the
Joe Crow.
It depends on like the.
It's more got to do with money than anything.
I really don't want to make this into like a
civil rights movement,
a stereotype, a stereotype podcast.
Yeah.
But it depends on the group as to whether or not they're hyper xenophobic or not.
I won't deny that those assholes exist, and they look like me. I won't deny that.
Oh, so like when I was flying home.
I just beg you not to all pigeonhole us into the same fucking stereotype, because that is literally how racism exists.
Exactly.
It is fucking stereotyping.
Exactly. So, and this, I felt horrible about this, but I was flying back from Minnesota, and I was in Chicago, and there was like 1 million people pre-boarding. Like, I mean, I think that there's questions you got to answer so you can like qualify for a pre-board on the plane or whatever. But,
Well, especially with Southwestern.
yeah, but like pretty much everybody that was pre-boarding didn't look like they qualified. Like they were all like 21-year-old, like you know, whatever, looked like sports players or something. Like, I mean, I don't want to be all stereotypical or anything, but that literally they were all like Black, Asian, or Muslim people pre-boarding, and only like 2-3 of them were like in a wheelchair, old, or looked like they needed like extra help or something.
You think they were like probably hopping the line or some shit?
So that's what. So there's 2 white guys that were behind me in line, and I could hear them griping like the whole time. They're like, "Oh, look at us! Like we're doing our thing. We're standing in line. Like we paid for our, you know, upgrade. Like blah 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 blah."
Hello.
And you know, look at them. That, you know, how the heck do they rate? They're all pre-boarding. There's like, it was literally.
Jabet-y YouTube.
It was literally like 53 people that were pre-boarding. It was a lot. So all these guys behind me were like pissed off that they've paid all this money to be able to be in the A section to board at the front, and all these other people are like pre-boarding for free or whatever. But like, I felt like so like embarrassed, because here I am, like a white person standing next to these old fat white guys that are like loudly talking like as if like they have some sort of privilege and everything, because they've paid all this money and all those like minorities are like getting on for free ahead of us. Like,
that kind of stuff always drives me nuts.
it was embarrassing.
I think,
you know,
it's like you're getting on the
point
plane.
of pre-boarding, you know, it first starts with like, hey, if you are elderly, pregnant, handicapped in some way,
or have
please,
like a small family or something like that.
No. Fuck all that. Little kids can fucking walk. Freaking, I'm talking about like people who board who are going to take longer than 5 minutes to get into their seat because they need help.
Right.
They're going to hold the line up. Everybody else, fucking, you pay the
Nice.
ticket, random
Congrats,
fucking
man.
draw, and load it back to front.
Yeah.
Like not this halvesies like, oh, I'm fucking seat 120. There's 300
the way
planes.
they do it, so the way they do it, I don't know, because I don't think Southwestern has first class.
No, Southwest
But-
doesn't have first class. Kids get to act like they're like so if you have a kid and it's like you and your little kids or whatever, you all board as like pre-boarders, even though like they're like better than old people walking around, you know.
The normal way they do it is like
And you can only board as military if you are in uniform.
in uniform.
In
yeah,
uniform.
which is weird. I would never.
Like-
I
travel
just think
in
it's so
uniform.
strange that we get so anxious about trying to fucking get on the plane before everybody else. When those seats
Yeah,
are
it's
10
all-
times more uncomfortable than ones out in the fucking lobby. Like, I'm sorry, I can access the bar or the bathroom or the little convenience store or whatever until my freaking ticket number gets called. And I think the ticket number should go off your fucking seat and load it back to front, because then everybody knows exactly
No,
what they're going in
do
order.
that though. Is what I'm trying to say. They gotta load first class first so that they can watch all the poors walk past them and judge them.
Of
Yeah,
course.
no,
Of course.
That's how it works.
It's just another fucking scam for the airlines to fucking make money. Now, granted, like, I got it. Like, business is a business. Cool. Like, I'm not hating, the airlines or whatever. But the amount of disgust that you see on another individual's face sitting across from you in the lobby because they look at somebody else that's got something that they don't. I want to rip their fucking throats out. Like, fuck you.
Oh no, it's fine because everybody in the USA is self-hating anyway. So
Literally, like, I mean, you can mock the USA all you want because it's pretty much true for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of crazy.
It's been
like,
a hot mess lately.
This is how fucked up America is. If you got a friend, you're in Germany, and you have a friend that lives in England, you could probably tell them the province or county or whatever it is you live in, and they know exactly what the fuck you're talking about. You tell an American where you live, they don't know shit. They're all like, where the fuck is that from? What country are you in?
Oh, yeah.
Geography for Americans is fucking absolute
Americans are
bullshit.
so ignorant. It's ridiculous, and it's really embarrassing.
Well, I met this Egyptian chick, and she was like, kind of like talking about like the area that she's like from or whatever. And I'm like, I'm completely unfamiliar. She's like, well, you can Google it. I'm like,
I was not gonna tell you anything.
I turned around and told her, I was just like I understand that I can do that, but I'm gonna be up front with you. I'm not gonna remember. It's not that significant to me where you fucking live, but in other people's culture, that is kind of like a different thing. Like they already kind of like know.
Yeah.
Whereas us, shit, we just throw out a state, anybody in the world knows where Texas is.
Yeah,
and we get
it's
so
crazy
fucking,
too
we get so
because
fucking arrogant about it.
Because if you go to Sweden, they know where Minnesota is. They know where the town that we grew up in is. But I don't even know where Stockholm, Sweden is.
Yeah,
I
couldn't tell you. I can show you on the map.
No, I know where Sweden as a country is, but I don't know where any individual city is.
The only
I don't
countries
even know
I
if they have
know
states or
about
provinces or anything like that.
is I have a rough outline of what Japan looks like and where certain locations are. South Korea, North Korea, Afghanistan.
Well, yeah, because of the military.
Right, because I've been there, and that's only the southern part of it.
I know where Saraburi, Thailand is because I've been there.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't know shit. And but that's not even the most fucked up part. I don't care. Like that seems like a geography seems like a bigger thing for. And I think it's kind of conditioning, like, because if you are kind of Europe, the European Union is a conglomerate of multiple small nations, so that are literally, some of them are smaller than our states. Right? Yeah.
That's
kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit easier for them to do that, but like, still though, that like. The arrogance in which a lot of Americans have or are raised with that mindset,
I don't know that
is kind of tricky.
Yeah,
It's like you don't even realize how shitty it comes across.
Something that sticks out in my mind is when it was my first year of college and I was taking a world history class. And there was the history teacher was telling us a story about how when she was I believe she was in Germany actually, and she was at a restaurant in Germany, and she was so embarrassed to be another American in this restaurant because there was a lady there that asked for sweet tea, and Germans don't know what the hell sweet tea is, especially not back in the 90s. And she just got all irate. Well, I can't believe I'm anywhere that doesn't have sweet tea. I can't go anywhere without my sweet tea. And she just went like crazy. And this lady was like, God, I'm so embarrassed to be an American right now. And it's like, that's pretty much what it's like. Because when I was in Landstuhl, when I was getting medevaced out of Iraq, and I was in Landstuhl, I had studied German in high school, so I knew very little. And so, but it was Sunday, and we were trying to like go explore the city because we only had the one
it's
day.
all shut down because it's Sunday.
Yeah, because it's Sunday. The only place that's open is a bakery, but they only take cash, and we don't have any euro. So we're like, well, shit, where do we find a bank? We don't know the automat or whatever is the ATM. So we're like trying to find some German citizen walking along the street that can speak English. And so they were like, well, hey, you know German, right? And I was like, a little. I was like, can you find somebody that can speak English? And I was like, probably. Yeah. And I was like, probably. So I'd walk up to him, I'd be, Entschuldigung, sprechen Sie English? Nein. Okay. And then they move on. Well, we found this one lady. I was like, Entschuldigung, sprechen Sie English? And she was like, yeah, a little. And then this guy I was with was like, okay, yeah, we need to find a bank. We're trying to get money. I was like, dude, fucking chill, bro. She said a little. Like, shut up. I was like, dude just like jumped down her throat because she said 2 words in English, and I was like, you are in Germany.
I've been in a similar situation when I was in South Korea. I was just all like, bro, you on the wrong side of Seoul right now? Like, that's the, I don't know.
I mean, I got the impression because they all lived in Landstuhl, which is by the military base. Yeah. I got the impression they just didn't want to deal with us. And I was fine with it. I'm like, whatever.
Well, it's understandable because as Americans, we are so full of ourselves. As
High maintenance, totally.
And high maintenance that when we go overseas, that we have such a bad...
Well, I mean, either way,
I was... reputation. Like, I didn't understand that national pride type kind of... Because I grew up in a small town. Small town, small mind, right? Mm-hmm. You join the military, you go overseas, you embrace the culture shock, and you immerse yourself and all that stuff, and then you start tracking the news, and you're not thinking about
you have very
what's
strong
going on in your little tiny part of the world.
Right.
You start considering, well, what's going on over here? What's going on over here? What's happening to these people and these people and all that stuff? And then you come across these fucked up articles of, oh, so-and-so soldier or so-and-so American in this fucking country or that country.
I mean...
making a bad name for us. And I'm just like, God.
I can understand that because the cognitive understanding of the written word versus the spoken word it's like a totally different part of your brain that's doing that.
He like writes really perfect.
Yeah, that's what. But he says he's scared of speaking English because
you should
it's
just
a whole different monster.
send me a voice chat. I'll send you a voice chat. We'll see if we can like understand each other.
Ich will Deutsch sprechen and do English.
Well, the biggest trick to getting the language down, any language down, from my understanding, which I'm not a fucking linguist, but from a fellow linguist that he knew like 7 fucking languages, was the trick to being confident in language is think in that language.
Well, that's
don't try to translate and then say what you translated, like thinking in your native tongue and then speaking in a different language. Think in the language in which that you're trying to talk.
That's how you know that you've got a solid understanding.
That you're fluent.
Like that's not something that you do when you're learning it though. You can't just think in the language when you're learning it.
No. I got. But if you can understand English and you can type in English, it's already in your head. The confidence comes later, but you need to speak it, but also think in it.
Yeah.
It's solid as the Berlin Wall. Hey, wait.
It's a lot bigger.
Do you not have a brick from the Berlin Wall in your backyard?
Berlin Wall was
that's what we all think over here.
Was that what, 88, 87?
Yeah, I was in
Mr. Gorbachev,
That was the year I was
take down that wall.
Yeah, fucking.
I watched it on TV in school. What? You don't have a brick of the Berlin Wall? That's what we all think over here.
That's crazy because I have a piece of the freaking fence on the DMZ in South Korea that separates South and North Korea. I don't know. They
stole it home.
They thought it was normal enough for me to have a piece of it. I don't know why I ain't got a piece of the Berlin Wall. I mean.
Oh geez, David Hasselhoff. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
hey,
man.
wait. Did I send you that video or did you send me that video? Okay, so there's this channel I watch on YouTube. What the heck? She's like, her name is like Furley or something like that. I don't know, but she's this girl that she's from Germany and she's lived in the United States off and on since like 2016. She lives in Cincinnati, Ohio. And so she posts all these videos that are super funny. She's like, this is what German people think of this. This is what actually happens in America that are German. People don't know. Like, this is like, just all these different culture things or whatever. And then she posted like a video recently that was just like about David Hasselhoff and like, whatever. Felly, yes, Felly.
I think I watched some of her videos too. Yeah.
I watch her
She's
a lot.
hella cute too.
She's so funny. And she talks like there's no accent when she talks. It's crazy. she'll be like, this is how you say this word in American, but you don't know that it's actually German, and we say it like this. And then I'm just like, wait, she didn't say it much different. What is the difference? Like, I don't know if it's just like that Americanized, or like we just know it as kind of a German, like we didn't know it was German, but it's just how it is for us.
Well, that's the other thing that's fucked up about the American language, or the English language, American-wise, is because we absorb so much of other language, and then so you have all this slang that's ingrained into it. It's only, and it only grows
like
worse.
I watched this video, and it was about like things that are brands that are German in the U.S. that nobody ever knows, and it was like we call it Adidas, but apparently it's Adidas. And I didn't know that. Like, we had that French student staying with us.
Nike across the world is Nike.
Yeah, she was calling Nike Nike. She's like, oh, Nike. And I was like, what? She's like, you know Nike? And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And then, like, we went to the mall in Raleigh, Durham area. And then she saw the Adidas store. And she's like, oh, Adidas. I thought it was so weird. I was like, what is she saying? But that's like the real way to say it.
Adidas, yeah.
Puma?
Yeah, and it's the dude's actual name. I always thought it was a acronym for All Day Long I Dream About Shoes.
Nice.
All day long I dream about shoes. Adidas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're swapping an I and an L.
Well, all day I dream about shoes.
Oh.
That's what I thought it was.
Pictures sent from my Aunt Marie.
Oh, I meant to ask you, have you seen any articles on what's called the Mid-Journey bot? Mid-Journey bot?
No.
So it is an artificial intelligence renderer. You tell it to, you go like /imagine, and then you just type in a bunch of stuff, right? And you're like, oh, Red Skull, freaking
yeah,
whatever.
okay, yeah. I have seen that.
The article that they came across was like CNN or CNBC or some shit.
You take the bikini pictures.
And it was like the last selfie ever taken, right? And it's like this post-apocalyptic world with sunken eyes and that crazy shit. I actually made an account.
Oh, yeah?
I have it, yeah.
All these pictures saved.
So you can kind of like scroll down on those. There's a whole bunch in there. So both me and my sister-in-law like use this on my server. It's like $10 a month. The first deal, you can do like a free trial. So it's like 25 free inquiries or whatever on it.
That's so cool.
Yeah. You put it on.
I'm thinking about applying for the artificial intelligence technician.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, so I was I have decided that I'm going to do graduate school.
And get your master's.
Because 21 years of college just isn't enough for me. I need more. And so I was going to do a master's in finance, but it occurs to me that if I get out of the Army and I try to go into the finance realm, I'll be starting at ground zero. Whereas
it's like a CPA or whatever.
No.
He has to work to even get to that.
Yeah, you have to have 2 years work experience to get a CPA.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
all his accounting for nothing.
So what I'm thinking about doing is, because my specific track, it highly involves like threat analysis and intel analyst analysis and stuff like that. So I plan on getting a master's in like national security intelligence analysis type stuff, which will align with my job. And then when I get out, I can get like a GS level job with MISIC or something like that, and actually use my work experience to get a decent paying job when I get out, versus having to start at square one.
Yeah.
And like prove myself in the financial markets and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm going with now. And I might Notre Dame has a decent program, and Northeastern University in Boston has a pretty decent program.
You might as well stay with Boston. That's where you went to music school.
It's true. I mean,
My game plans
it
are
would be cool.
pick up E6 at some point in time because I'm like fucking late
Wait,
as
what?
shit.
They haven't
But
given
then-
you E6 yet?
No,
But then I want to apply for the AI,
pick that up.
the AI technician thing, and
They ought to
then
give you 2 ranks somewhere.
if I couple the master's degree with the artificial intelligence, like work,
You want to explain
would be
you
nice.
guys what you all do?
so
Army aviation.
yeah, we're both in aviation.
I'm enlisted.
Devin
He
Bacon
is an
is
officer.
what's called a crew chief. So
He's
basically,
enlisted, like basically
he
the
does all the
meats-
hard
The
work.
meats of the
Yeah,
stuff.
he does all the hard work, and then
He
come
breaks
out-
it, I fix
Yeah,
it.
I come out with my sunglasses on and say, "Is it ready to fly?" Sweet, and then I go out and break it,
Yeah.
and then come back and he does all the hard work again. So I just sit up in front and wiggle sticks, and I'm like, don't work.
I carry the physical stress. He carries the mental stress.
It is a lot of mental stress, but yeah. So I fly. If you're familiar with U.S. military aircraft, I fly the Black Hawk helicopter. And then he's also
I'm a
crew
Black Hawk
chief,
mechanic.
yeah, but he right now you fly on or you work on fixed wing, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't really work on them. I'm the breaker.
Yeah,
And somebody else is the.
you're a
Do
crew
we-
member
do we
on
need
fixed
a
wing
third
now.
Yeah.
bottle?
Do we need a third bottle? Are you good for another bottle?
Oh, no thanks.
So
That's
true.
pretty accurate. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Air Force is like chair force.
Yeah, no, my game
They're
plan is
military
like
light.
pick up like E6 or E7 because all my role models have all been platoon sergeants, and that's kind of like
So-
my dream.
In the U.S. military, E6 is a staff sergeant, so it's like a mid-level non-commissioned officer.
Yeah. But then after that, and kind of, I don't necessarily need to pick up E7, but I think I'll go warrant, and either I'm gonna go walking warrant, or I'll go flying warrant and knock out the other 10 years of my career, and hope to God I never have to fucking take any college.
Right.
Because college is fucking boring and fucking expensive.
I don't think college is boring at all. But
I find it fucking boring as hell. It's the aftermath. It's not like what I'm learning is like boring. Like I can make it through the course or whatever and all that stuff. The boring part about it is how it applies to my life. Like its level of importance, that education.
Well-
because I learn better by discovery on
Yeah.
my own terms, right?
that's why I want to get a degree kind of that's in line with my career, because then I can use the stuff that I'm learning in my job. You know?
My thing is I want to discover it on my own. Like, what is it that I go through my day-to-day thing? Like, okay, cool. All right, well, is what I'm trying to accomplish in my just routine at-home life, like, can I go to the library and look it up in a book? Can I get on
think
fucking
two of us
Google and
can
fucking
do
look
it.
shit up or whatever?
Okay. Do you want
And then-
another
When
red?
did it turn on for me? I don't think.
That kind of thing.
Well, it does. It's kind of. Well, it was buffering for him. There you go. It can-
Well, it's been doing that the whole time I've been
yeah.
here.
Are you on the Wi-Fi or?
Yeah.
Yeah, our cable
I don't know,
sucks
it's weird.
lately. I don't know, or our
Well,
internet
here,
sucks lately.
let me
I don't know.
do this so we don't all have like 4 fucking rounds going.
No, no, it shouldn't. It should be fine, right?
It should be. We have gigabit. We have
Yeah.
gigabit internet. but-
Okay, I'm gonna go get one.
But yeah, I just don't want, because to me, I look at it as American education as indoctrination. Like it
is.
puts a fucking blinders and shit on you, and it forces you to think in only one fucking way.
So it is very good at creating a workforce, essentially. I mean, it's very,
I'm not saying there's not a need for it.
it's
just
very good at
I want to find something
making
that's
you
more
a
in line
worker.
with like my thought patterns and stuff like that, because I'm
Well,
very abstract.
let me be more Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah. Pre-secondary school and high school is designed to make the workforce. I would say undergraduate, like collegiate level is designed to make more efficient workers, but graduate, that's okay. We got dark humor here. I mean, we've all
seen some shit, been through some shit.
We've all dealt with enough that the dark
good.
humor is there. But I think the graduate school is where the American education system starts to really push critical thinking, because you have to write a dissertation and it has to be your own research.
I also think about it at that point, it's way too fucking late.
I agree, but
you should be pushing dissertations like your first fucking year in college.
But you can't. No, not everybody can be an entrepreneur. Not everybody can be a business owner. And yeah, not everybody can be Chrissy May. And the world would crumble if everybody was Chrissy May.
It's fair enough, because you'd have a lot of people wandering with their head in the clouds and not enough people
everybody would be vigilantilizing everybody else.
Yelling at
I'm taking your picture. I'm taking your picture.
No, I mean, the world needs all different types and stuff. And like, I do agree with, like, there's two things that I kind of agree with on some of, like,
chaotic neutral. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
On the Eastern culture. Well, there's actually several things that I agree with.
I need the item in your hand.
Oh. I agree with multiple things in Asian culture and stuff. One, their sense of familial pride, like, hey, don't tarnish the family name, that kind of thing, and how important that is. I agree with that.
Is there a dog outside? Oh, he's just clacking it.
I agree with mandatory military service, like at least 2 years straight out of high school. I agree with that. And then I also agree with how, like, some of their aptitude tests are set up. Like, you take an aptitude test when you're in, like, fucking secondary school or high school or whatever. And so, like, it's none of this, let's over-Americanize the fucking American dream. Like, you can do anything you want if you just put your mind to it and you try hard enough. Bro, there are so many fucking jobs out there. Like, if you don't know what you're good at, like, it's hard to even fucking get started. There's a lot of homeless motherfuckers that ended up freaking drug addicts and all kinds of shit because they had zero fucking direction. And that's simply because of a failure of the fucking education system. If you're gonna fucking mandate it, it better goddamn benefit.
Well, yeah, the failure of the education system. And I think I saw a video that had I can't remember, Milton Friedman. If you're familiar with who he is, he's a very well-known American economist. But he was talking to somebody who was part of the Board of Education of some public education. And like the guy was like, the Board of Education guy was like, well, our public schools require that you graduate with a working knowledge of a foreign language, and I don't think that there's any private school that has that level of requirement for foreign language knowledge. And Milton Friedman is like, why should they? If that is not a priority to the people that are going to that school, why should it be a requirement for them to learn a foreign language? Maybe they want to learn more about science. Maybe they want to learn more about mathematics or more about art. Maybe that's what they want to focus on.
So
it shouldn't be up to the government to dictate what you learn.
Well, the other thing is if you have zero interest in it, you can mosey your way through the shit and you retain fucking none of it.
Oh, yeah.
I took 3 fucking classes of French. There's very, 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 very fucking little. It's like a cunt hair's worth of fucking knowledge.
You want any?
Yeah, I'll take a little bit. There's a very minimal amount that I actually freaking retained. No, the way they
really
teach
doesn't.
It fucking doesn't. It's like they're talking about like grammar and what words mean. The classes
I will say,
itself, like if you were to like, okay, cool, you were in French 1 French 2 or French 3. School's going to pay for this French class of this year or whatever.
I will
to
say
go to France and immerse themselves. Maybe.
I
but
will
they
say
don't do that.
the school that I went to. I will say that the school that I went to when I learned Germany, we actually learned about German culture. Like, yeah, we learned about. I read Der Erlkönig. It's like a German poem about like this father who's got like a dying child that he's trying to get through the woods and they're being chased by the angel of death. Basically,
You did this in high school?
yeah. And we had to make a German commercial, or it was like a German public service announcement, but we had to use German like cultural differences. And so it was basically like we had to understand the differences between American culture and German culture, and then the PSA was like, the idea was it was an American that was going over to Germany, and it was like a German teaching them about a German culture. So we like had to. Spaß Gummi Gummi Salsa was different. That had nothing to do with German culture. That was entirely we just had to make a commercial that was in German, and we had to basically translate a commercial to German. So I decided to make a Japanese commercial that was translated into German, and the product was a energy drink called Spaß Gummi Gummi Salsa. This is happy gum gum sauce. But
I'm talking about like Texas public school that like taught this language class. The crazy thing is like they also taught Spanish, but they didn't teach Spanish the way that like people from Mexico spoke it.
They taught law enforcement Spanish?
It's very much formal Spanish from freaking Spain.
Well, you do always learn academic, the academic version.
No. I got it, but there was no like a lot of this shit. Like neither classes, they didn't do any immersion. There was no like, hey, let's ingrain you in the culture and understand why things like why does this slang word mean this? Why does like where did this come from? What is the history of it? None of that shit. It was literally a fucking grammar dictionary book of like memorize and regurgitate feminine, masculine names as long as it comes after this or before this. It was the most mundane, fucking boring ass shit ever. Now,
I can't speak to the other languages.
In South Korea, now granted, I don't know the language there. I'm not formal in it, but the interest behind it, like if I like go in there and learning this shit, holy fuck, like I'd have been all about that crap whenever I was in high school.
So yeah, I can't speak to the other languages the way that they were taught, but with German, it was very like even my first year of German, there's a video that we watched that like sticks in my head that they were trying to teach us how to say I like that or I don't like that, and it was just this voiceover that would be like Ich habe das gern, ich habe das nicht gern, and it would show like different things in Germany. So it'd be like it would show like Godzilla destroying a city, and it would be like Ich habe das nicht gern, and then it'd show like somebody eating a cheese wheel, and they'd be like Ich habe das gern, and it's like it still sticks with me. But it, you know, even in the first year they were teaching us about, and that was in 8th grade. Yeah, they did that. They did that with us too. They would only talk in the foreign language.
They didn't do that for French till the third year.
Unless they were like teaching an initial thing.
I went all the way through.
I feel like you chose this just because you wanted me to mispronounce everything.
I don't fucking.
Okay, so now we are drinking.
You guys were just waiting for me. I was like wandering around upstairs. And...
Well, we've been talking about learning language.
Bunch of different stuff.
Yeah. This is. All right, we have Flores de Becco Aletejo Red, 2020 medium to full-bodied red. Flores de Becco is a bold red blend that brings Portugal to your front door. Led by the country's famous red grape, Touriga Naciona, the wine marries it with Syrah and Alicante Muscat to create this bold red. I don't know if I pronounced any of that correctly.
It didn't. It made perfect no sense to me.
With floral and dark berry aromas, followed by jammy fruit flavors and a touch of cocoa. It's a Portuguese star.
Look at this. Okay, I'm gonna read it.
The description of La Paregal. Okay. La Brioche.
It's a whiskey.
La Friage.
Oh, I gotta put in my date of birth.
Okay, here we go.
How are you so fast? I'm still trying. Not letting me go in.
I've been putting my date of birth in since 1983.
I'm still trying. It won't let me press the button.
Because you're too old. It doesn't have the description here. Let's see, our range. Let's look at the 115-year-old bottle. La Brioche Cask Strength is an Islay Scotch, bottled at natural distillery strength and non-chilled filter. This bundle contains batch 13 and batch 14. It has all the genuine depth, taste, and texture associated with sampling whiskey at source. La Brioche whiskey is matured in seasoned oak barrels, which are charred before filling to impart a slight sweet vanilla nuttiness. La Brioche 10-year cask strength is barrier filtered. La Brioche 10-year cask strength is barrier filtered only just to remove the small char particles. This means you can enjoy exactly as we made it, with very little intervention. I hope that brought joy to your life.
I think your voice acting career's got a long way to go, buddy.
Well, it does, because I have literally never been paid.
Have you still been practicing though?
Not really.
What was the last one he did when I was here? Was he trying to be like a pirate or
Oh my gosh.
or Sean Connery? Sean Connery's
Sean Connery.
The Sean Connery one, yeah.
Yes.
And he hits it like the first word or two, and then it drastically devolves into some Australian bullshit or something. You're all like, well, you had it, you lost it.
I would be okay with that. Okay.
Yes.
I'll be the sober cat.
We will drink and drink and drink. Because, you know, I have this like amazing ability to like drink and drink and drink and then still just like sober up really easy.
Or
like,
see ghosts.
Or see ghosts, yeah. But I mean,
One or the other.
lately it hasn't been sea ghosts.
Although, yeah, now that you've had most of your organs removed, you sober up pretty quick.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Sorry.
Actually, kind of nice. That's the part about drinking I don't like. It's because if you overdo it, you're like, God damn, I gotta wait how fucking long before this feeling goes away? Shit.
Why do your friends hate you?
Because alcohol for him is like an energy
Drink. Oh, yeah.
I don't dislike other people who can drink more than me. I dislike other people who insist on trying to peer pressure me into drinking more. Like if I go to a bar and I want to chill with one fucking beer for 2 hours, I'm gonna chill with one fucking beer for 2 hours. I got it. Hey man, you've had 10, you've had 20, like cool. It's not a cock measuring competition. I don't fucking care. You're having fun, I'm having fun. Why do we have to highlight the fact that I spent $250 to have a good time and you spent 150.
It'd be cheaper in
Because they're
Germany.
jealous.
It'd be cheaper in Germany.
No, they're drunk and they're dumb.
Misery
and they're
loves
fucking
company.
Pocket asses, motherfucker.
Misery loves company.
Hey. That'd be me. But then everybody just passes out on me anyway. And then I'm still sober in the end.
I usually tend to stay up as long as the party's happening. Everybody else goes to bed, then that's when I go to bed. I've pulled multiple like all-nighters. Like I've been on, I think the longest binge I've
Did
ever
we get
been
a
on
package today?
was probably
I didn't see one.
48 hours.
Were we expecting one? Maybe it's in the thing out there that we get mail in the mailbox.
Hey, don't feel bad or laugh at yourself too hard. So get this shit. I was at work and I was talking with my coworkers and stuff.
That's gonna be a short.
Yeah,
thing that we
and all this next one will be too.
okay.
I was trying to explain something because we were talking about like cars, automotive, different things or whatever. And I was having the hardest time trying to figure out what the fuck this thing was called. So what do? I Google under car rolly thing. It comes across, oh, creeper. Nah, fucking shit. Damn. Yes. It came up exactly what I was looking for, though, but I felt like about as smart as
perfect, though.
about as smart as a
That
box
is
of
the
rocks.
best. That is the best. That's what I like. I would have been like, that undercar rolly thing that you lay on, that you get out there. You know what I mean? The creeper? No, like the thing that you lay on to roll under the car.
The really funny thing is the way in which you would explain it to your best friend is the most perfect way for Google to understand it.
Skull.
Yeah, undercar rolly thing.
You
Yeah.
sound just like me.
Prost.
There's a bar in downtown Boise, Idaho called Prost,
Really?
and they have the Das Boot.
The Das Boot?
Das Boot.
Yeah, we didn't do it like one-on-one competition. It took a team of 7 of us passing the bitch
Zum
around.
Wohl.
And we
Das
still had
ist sehr
motherfuckers
chic,
drunk.
ja?
So jealous you guys can speak German and not me.
I don't speak German. I just know like
kann nicht Deutsch sprechen. Aber ich kann ein bisschen.
It's funny to hear the computer say it out loud.
Yeah.
Nicht lang schnacken. Koppen schnacken. That's what the computer
Something
sounded
about
like it
your
said.
head.
Yeah.
Not long. I'm not sure what schnacken is.
Schnacken.
Your head is knocking? Maybe. Not long. Oh, okay. Okay. Kind of like shakumaku. Daffy Daffy, shakumaku!
That's what you guys do? You do the little...
I did. Yeah, that's how I endeared myself to the Iraqi police. They called me Arif Safia Dafi.
What?
Oh, I got you. Coppin' knockin'. Hello, Rise God. This is Wine with the Wifey. This is the we're just chatting with whoever comes into chat game.
But we have a buddy that is from Germany, and so since Gitch speaks a little from elementary Germany,
High school.
high school, whatever, it's beginning Germany.
Yeah.
And
Hey! How are you? This
so
is
that's what we've been doing. Going
for those
through.
of you that are new
He
to the
educates
channel.
us, yes.
Steven is the OG fan of the channel.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, do I have the unspoken Riz?
What's Riz mean?
Nice. There you go, Steve. We got some German shorts
there
off.
you go.
Okay, Okay, so now he just needs to be
So
dancing
him and
to
Steven Perez are best friends now, because that's what Steven Perez does.
Steven. Yeah,
Steven's the OG. He's the original gangster on this channel.
Dr. Perez, is that you? Take the pants off.
Yeah, when we back in the day before we separated, so I got my channel, which is gaming content, and then we got Wine with the Wifey. And I had
Because I fucking feel like it. There, Steve. Jeez.
You're late to the party, Steve.
Yeah.
I had
3 bottles deep, motherfucker.
Yeah, this is our 3rd bottle of wine.
Now he's taking after Squirtle now.
I had a song at the end of
Nice.
my streams that I used to play at the end of this stream because they were all like together. And it motivated Steven to dance on the table.
Yeah, it was the Wellerman song.
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
Chris Pee-Pee
Oh, okay. So I got
slang.
an email. I got an
Is
email.
American slang for penis.
I got an email today saying that I haven't posted recently on my OnlyFans, and so I'm gonna have to post something, or they're gonna shut me down.
Uh-oh.
You should just take a snapshot
You
of your
should
finger.
do what you should do what the intern says and just like post a picture of your elbow.
I did recently post like the last picture I posted was like me with my tongue hanging out, like,
Really?
yeah. Ayo!
Yeah. Basically, yeah. We're all children. It really comes down to the puritanical history of the United States. If you're familiar with the Puritans.
So
Or the Quakers.
The Michael.
Well, the Puritans, yeah. Michael. Oh, there's somebody new.
Yeah, you didn't catch that?
I didn't.
You didn't say hi to him?
I.O. Mommy.
Hello,
looking
Michael
fine.
J.
So when you talk mommy, are you talking about Chrissy or are you talking about Gitchy?
I don't know what is happening in chat right now, but I love it.
What's happening?
I don't know. They're talking about something. He says he does that often, and then it's all in good fun. It's obvious.
I'm tracking.
Went from reading the wine bottles to talk.
The last time that Chris was on his channel, Gitch had like inhaled some whiskey
Oh God.
straight down his nose into the sink.
Yeah, Steven paid me to do 4 shots, and the first shot came out my nose.
Oh,
I still finished the 4, but it was a painful night. It was a painful night. Anyone have a sock? We all have socks. It's kind of a normal attire. Depends on what kind of sock you need.
The other 3
yeah.
shots came out his anus.
That is. I'm gonna use that. That's a good one.
Nice.
We gotta drink like there's free healthcare. That's.
Oh.
I know what he means, Gandalf. I'm not dense. Come on, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't.
but Gandalf's drunk, so the obvious is funny.
That's
to him
true.
Right
That's
now.
true.
Yeah. And I'm female, so I don't understand what the sock has to do with anything. I was like,
Call it a happy sock.
Yeah. I just don't refer to it at all.
that's
It's
normal.
just like,
that's what normal people do.
It's just like desert jellyfish. You got to beware of the desert jellyfish. That's why you wear shower shoes to the shower in
Yeah.
the desert, because you don't want to step in the desert jellyfish. They clog the drains, so
What?
yeah,
Yeah.
Seriously?
yeah.
Thought that stuff just
Oh,
like
yeah.
washes down.
No,
Like it goes down the
not in the
toilet.
desert. Not in the desert. It doesn't. The plumbing out there is not meant for that kind of biomass.
Why are you guys doing it in the bathroom then?
Well, thanks for the literal explanation. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. The innuendo is funny enough, but you just had to lay it all out. God damn.
So welcome to the Urban Dictionary portion of the show.
Let's get banned on Twitch tonight.
U.S. guys have a sock fetish? Yeah, probably. It's because
Gandalf does, clearly.
It's because in the United States there's a lot of shame involved in being a human being. So.
Yes. Masturbation is not openly discussed in certain circles.
Again, with the Puritans. The Puritans are really coming out right now.
Catholic guilt, Lutheran guilt, Puritan guilt.
There's no Lutheran guilt. That's the nice thing about the Lutherans is that...
Look, to be honest, my generation, we have zero guilt about this shit. We just don't want to deal with the fucking hassle of going like,
wait, what generation are you? I want to know.
I don't know. I'm 34.
He's a millennial.
I would talk about every fucking thing under the sun, regardless of what the hell
so
it is.
I'm 10 years older than you?
Like dirty shit, nasty shit, whatever. It's just all the people who get offended by that crap.
If it was me, I'd go with the right sock.
Okay, again.
That's what I would do if I was a guy. Right sock if I was a guy.
I got no preference. It's all the same.
Whatever's available.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever used a sock for
just use what you got.
Particular catching duty was my road trip from fucking Washington State to fucking Florida.
Hell yeah. The road trip jack is the best jack.
Like you're on.
Have you done it?
I'm sorry. When you were on course, 13
when you married me?
No, I don't think so. No, we don't share.
Look at it this way.
No,
when you were
there's no
on
sharing.
Hour,
I will say, I have a story though.
When you're on hour 14, 15 of a fucking road trip in the middle of goddamn nowhere, and you're just trying to wake up, stay awake, trying to get to the next fucking. You're thinking of all kinds of wild shit.
When I was a truck driver.
You stop on the side of the road, you beat your fucking meat to whatever.
No, you don't stop. You do it driving down the highway. Come on, man.
Or you do that.
I got places to be. When I was a semi-truck driver, I didn't stop.
I've done it in a rest stop. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
fucking
but
rest area.
So when I was an NCO, I had a soldier.
Fucking big recycle fans.
Yeah, there you go. I had a soldier who used his shooter's glove to do the duty, right? To catch the seed. And so, and then he just like threw it in the back of his car.
What?
And then come a few months later, he was driving one of the lower enlisted to the range, and they were like, "Do you have any gloves I can borrow?" And the guy was like, "Nah, probably not." And he was like, "Oh, I found some." And he puts the glove on. He's like, "Oh man, how long has this been back here? It's all crispy." The guy's like, "Dude, you don't want to wear that glove."
Yeah. Oh, masturbation stories. They're fun.
Heck yeah.
What? You're like, heck yeah. I'm like, whoa.
So, probably the most embarrassing moment that I've ever had in my entire life. I was about 16 years old. Growing up, me, my brother, and my sister's older, my brother's younger. We all share the same room because we live in a tiny, tiny ass house, like 800 square feet house, like 2 bedroom. No. I was like much older.
I didn't use socks as a teenager. It just never occurred to me. I used my blanket, and I damn sure had my mom wash that.
I always just came in the toilet and wiped the toilet seat. Anyways, back to my story. So we all shared a room. Eventually, my sister got like old enough. My dad had finished adding on to the house and all that stuff to give us more room. She got put into the front room, and then me and my brother were left in the back room. Well, for years, like 16, 17 years, my sister was used to just walking into my room because it used to be hers, right? So like the whole privacy thing wasn't really there. Well, I'm 14, 15 years old. Like, what do 14, 15-year-old boys do? Well, when they get a moment alone, they fucking jerk off. The shitty part was I wasn't like 3 seconds or like a minute and a half into it to where I could just like cover up real quick and be like, oh, I wouldn't do nothing. Like, what the fuck you doing in my room? Get the fuck out. Like, there was none of that. It was like, oh, like, no, no, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
About 2 hours afterwards.
Oh yeah,
I
we're still
finally
doing that.
Get to talk to my sister and go like, so we're not going to talk about this, right? She's like, oh no, dear God, no, we're never fucking talking about this. Don't ever mention it again. It never fucking happened. I was like, I'm just glad we're on the same fucking page. That was it.
Oh, that would be like a nightmare burned into my eyeballs.
Yeah, just.
I'm imagining that as like a like a
Yeah,
American Pie moment.
Yes. Oh,
Where
definitely.
it's just
It was like straight up.
just like spurting everywhere, and they're like, she's like, why can't you stop? And you're like, I can't stop.
No, it was like, because this is like super personal here, but you know, like, whenever, like, sometimes guys, like, whenever you masturbate, you don't.
Oh yeah, you've told me many times.
There's not always something that comes out, especially whenever you're a little bit younger. You don't have anything that comes out. Your testicles aren't producing anything. Somewhere in the mix of puberty, eventually you begin to produce.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. So if you were like
Yeah,
me,
at the very beginning, if you learn to masturbate early, it's
Like
the most
12.
frustrating thing.
like 12, 13 years old,
That's why-
you don't get anything out of it.
That's why middle school kids are like the worst to deal with in any capacity. Like when I was a bus driver driving for middle school, like, oh my God, it's just a bunch of sexual frustration walking around.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always on Chrissy Gumi's case about hanging out with middle school boys. I'm like, don't do it.
They have all
Hang
this
out one by
hormonal
themselves.
energy and they don't know what to do with it. But so going through like this stuff or whatever, you know, like it's not like overnight, like, or one day it's just dust that comes out. Like you always get like the orgasm part of it.
Yeah.
And then like the next day or whatever, all of a sudden it's just gobs and gobs of whatever shit, like a grown ass man. It's a gradual, like you graduate to that, right? There's a gradient there. This moment that happened was in the middle of that, so wasn't like, oh shit, like, you know, scary movie where I'm painting a motherfucker up on the ceiling and shit because it's coming out. It's just like,
I hope Steven is appreciating this conversation.
yeah.
He's driving home.
assholes.
He's driving home. I don't think he's
No,
watching.
it's fucking dribbling out. So you're in the mix of like
A convulsion, yeah.
like this, going like, get the fuck in! You know, and she goes in and she just sees the little baby, like, you know, volcano of,
Oh my God!
yeah. Yeah. You're so like, dear God.
That was the best little. This is all gonna be short, son.
Hey, I'm glad to produce some some funny moments for you. My whole life as a kid was a fucking just one big ass fucking embarrassment.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say, Gandalf, back to your mentioning there, you're not the first friend that I've had that's caught me in such a situation. So.
Wait, what?
Or you're not the only friend. You might have been the first, but you're not the only. He was talking about, well, he
How
told
many
you.
friends have caught you doing it?
I think probably all of them, but only 2 that I know of.
I think 2 or 3 have admitted to it. You know, because they're more or less roommates. You know.
Can you let Pierre out?
The what?
I was
Pierre?
gonna ask you.
Well, he's next to the door.
Like maybe 2 or 3 like admitted to it, and those are usually your true friends because they don't give a fuck. They're just gonna roast you anyways. And then the ones that you should the guy friends you should always be skeptical of is when you know they fucking saw you and they don't say shit about it. Those are the ones you watch out for. Because they're the fucking weirdos.
Or they're just embarrassed and they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, but fuck you. Like, if you ain't like, you're a guy. Like, if you ain't honest enough to give me fucking shit over it, like, motherfucker, I was trying to come in and watch, like, the morning fucking news, and you had your video game on, and you just had it paused for whatever reason, and had your dick out, and you just fucked up my whole goddamn morning or whatever. It's like, can you not fucking do that? Like, saying that to your friend, that's a real fucking dude.
I will
So
say,
dude just go like,
I will say that for whatever reason,
fuck that.
the blanket that I would use, so I wouldn't use the blanket that I like cuddled up with at night to sleep in. I'd use a different blanket.
No. You shouldn't be concerned, because not only white guys actually talk about this topic. You get enough around, like, I can tell you, I can't speak for Puerto Ricans or other Latin communities, but Mexican dudes, for fucking real, they talk about this shit.
But the blanket that I used, I would use it and I would like push it down to the bottom of my bed, right? So that I wasn't like sleeping in it.
Shut up.
So, but for whatever reason, whenever one of my friends came over, you know who,
She had her shining moments at the beginning of the stream. Now the guys are taking over.
That's not a good way.
but yeah, I would like use the blanket to clean up, and then I would push it to the bottom of the bed. And then for whatever reason, one of my friends that came over, the one that we visit, who lives in this state,
Oh, yeah.
would always use that blanket because my wife, my parents always had the.
Wait, what?
Well, you always have the AC down too. That's why that came out. But my parents always had the AC down, and it was freezing in my room because it was right on the other side of the hall or the wall from the air conditioner unit. So he'd be sitting in my room and he'd grab my cum rag basically and like
Jesus.
drape it over himself and like bundle up, and I'd be like, dude, please don't use that blanket to bundle yourself up. And he'd be like, why, man? Why don't you want me to use your blanket? I'd be like, trust me, you don't want to use that blanket.
I hate the fact that like some dads, like they're smart, right? Like they got years of experience on you, all that stuff. But when you try to explain stuff, the fact that you are their kid, right? They just dismiss the weight of whatever it is.
Welcome back,
trying to do.
Gandalf. I was just talking about how the friend of ours that lives in this state
WB, what's that mean?
used to wrap up.
Welcome back.
Oh, welcome.
That used to wrap himself up in my cum rag.
Yeah, no. So I didn't have the socks.
Was he doing it too?
He must have gone poop.
Yeah, I didn't have the socks.
Thought he was
I didn't
doing
have.
He took a jack break.
I didn't.
Hold on a second. All this talking about jacking off, I gotta. Dr. I, yes.
Yeah,
I did warn him though. I don't think I was
no.
very explicit about it, but I told him in no uncertain terms that he doesn't want to cuddle up in that blanket.
yeah. So
He still did though.
I didn't have the socks. I didn't have the freaking blankets. I was just figuring it out early on, like, hey, well, why do I need to clean up this fucking mess and have
There
all
you
this
go.
evidence laying around? You get going. You get the motivation, and then
Well,
you
it's
just
because I
go
think
to
it was
the
between me and
bathroom,
him.
the fucking toilet and wipe the fucking seat rim off,
That
and
makes
you're
sense
done.
to me.
So, my parents never once ever fucking mentioned it. Never talked about it. Never shamed it. Never,
My parents never talked about it.
never,
No, they
but
made you
I know
watch
for
striptease.
a fucking
Yeah.
fact that they know, they know I did that shit. One, my dad's not an idiot. He used to be a teenage boy, one, and he's fucking smart. He knows this shit. But the only bathroom in the house to this fucking day is right next to their fucking bedroom. So even though you turn on the fan, you know, the venting fan or whatever, shit or whatever, but you last longer than 2 or 3 minutes in there, they know what the fuck's happening.
Unless you're pooping. I mean, I take a good 30 minutes to poop.
But in my dumb teenager brain, that's what I thought. Is that how I would hide it? because my buddy who tried to hide it in the shower, but he's taking like 20-30 minute showers and would come out with fucking dry ass hair, like it's dumb obvious what you're doing. So I try to like flip it around or whatever, thinking I was being like smart or clever. Nah. Yes, as a teenager, Jesus Christ, and you're fucking obvious as hell.
Yeah, we catch Chrissy Gumi all the time.
What? What?
Doing what? You need to elaborate on that.
Just
you
being-
need to clarify.
Being an idiot
That's my
teenager.
niece, motherfucker.
Being an idiot teenager and trying to hide things.
Okay, thank you.
Not.
Thank you.
Although Chrissy May has a story about that.
Oh, you? No. Hey, sorry. I have a mental image in my head, and you shall not and are not allowed to fucking tarnish that mental image of my niece in my fucking head. I will have fucking nightmares. Jesus. Oh
That's
my God.
funny, Chris. Oh my gosh. So I cannot imagine like my own sons being like this. Like I can't. That's just not even my head. Like I cannot imagine. But I remember walking into Chrissy Gumi one
You
time.
do not drink wine. You're a puppy.
And
All right, you got
Anyways.
you got like 5 minutes to finish.
I can't ruin his brain. I can't ruin his brain. And so I heard like we have cameras in our house because she.
Security cameras in the hallway. Nothing in inappropriate places.
Cameras in the hallway, just because she'd have seizures and she'd walk and stuff like
Like
that.
sleepwalk.
And then anyway, so I saw her alarm go off upstairs by her door, and then I could hear some sort of sounds, like it sounded like music or something like that. So I went upstairs to check in on her. I walked into her room, and like she had like a makeup brush in her hand, like handled in a really weird way. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And she like quick hides everything under her blanket. And I was like, are you like this? Are you using that makeup brush to do what I think you're doing? That's what I said.
Oh man.
And she just was like, no.
So she knew what you thought you.
I just shut the door and walked away. And I was like, oh my God.
It really is the American way, Chris. That's just. That is
Why
what
barley?
we do.
Barley, I know, honey.
We're just ashamed of everything.
6 a.m. Do you have a wife that's going to be kicking your butt now that you're just going to sleep at this time? I've never asked you that. His wife's going to kick his butt going to bed at 6 a.m.
This is barley.
Barley's my little puppy. He's training for service. He's kind of a crazy at times because he's just a puppy.
Yeah, he's what? Not even a year old yet, is he?
It's really upset. That's funny. Your 17-year-old. He wants Devin Bacon to come back in.
Yeah. He's all worried. He's like, nobody can be outside without me.
Well, I was like, what? I didn't do that. Well, it is getting to be that time of the night. So I think when Devin Bacon comes back in, we'll probably call it for the evening.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that's interesting. We will have to talk about that at another
Yeah,
time.
we'll have to talk about that next time.
I've never known anybody in an open relationship. I mean, except for my ex-husband.
I've known people, but I've not known anybody that I like.
Oh, geez.
What?
Were you saying you don't like Chris?
I'm not saying I don't like Chris. That's what I'm saying. This is a novel time here. All the guys I've known that are in open relationships, but they've all been American guys. They're all guys that I don't really care for.
Yeah, Americans. That's what it is.
Just Americans in general. That's why when Devin Bacon earlier was talking about, I forget what he's talking about, but he said, I don't like people, and I was like, period. He was talking about I don't like people who, and then blah 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 whatever. But
yeah,
I just
Devin
don't like
Bacon
people.
doesn't like people. Period.
Well, I just don't like people.
Oh, you both are like that.
Yeah. Real and Taya shop.
Relationship.
I know.
Oh.
I'm just saying what.
So what made you guys decide that you were going to get married at some point?
You want any more?
Nope. Just pour it, go.
Oh, look at all
down.
that sediment.
Yeah, thank God I didn't get any of that. Whoa!
Yeah. That is a lot of
Oh,
sediment.
taxes. I gotcha.
Yeah, of course.
Taxes always get ya.
All right, are we gonna call
I
it?
didn't know there was marriage tax type stuff over there too.
I think every country has it. That's why America did it. I mean, we're the youngest
All right,
country. We
Chris.
just copy everybody else.
Gandalf, whoever else is lurking in, we're gonna call the night. It's about midnight here in the United States on the East Coast, and that's about when we typically shut down. So if you liked this content tonight, very interesting content, go ahead and follow us and subscribe. And then follow us along next week at about 9 o'clock Eastern time and hang out with us again.
Yep, we try to do this show every weekend. And until next time, pour on.
Have I become a little too shy for love? I've been hurt before. All's fair in love and war. So I'll snuggle up close to the shell I'm living in. And if I let you in, another round begins. No, I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side.
Should I be scared? The feeling's so different now. You got me floating here, a feather in the air. Oh, but when the wind blows, will I tumble or sail away? Or would you have me stay? And what if I escape? I know
I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side, by your side. I'm not afraid. We found something that'll never fade. We can be ourselves and figure out the rest along the way. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from